Search Safety Steel. For your dream shed, search Safety Steel.
Safety Steel. Time to get real.
Get the power of safer tyres before you go on holidays. A road safety message from Tyre Power.
Correct tyre inflation is the single most important part of tyre care. It helps keep them in good condition to provide optimum performance and maximum life. The best thing you can do before a long journey is check your tyre pressure and top them up with air if needed. And don't forget to check the spare tyre too.
Get the power of expert advice. Get the power of Australia's biggest independent. Visit tyrepower.com.au for your local owner operator.
Oh, a good mark to Wilson. He plays on at full pace and kicks a beauty to Thomas. Thomas gives off to Harris. Harris closes in on 50, but wait, he's tackled by Smith. Or is it Williams? Williams scrabbles for the ball, kicks it to a guy in blue, who kicks it to some other guy in blue. Now some tall bloke has the ball. He kicks it to an even taller bloke. Kick, handball, kick.
Don't miss the best bits. You won't miss a moment if you drink Wise. Proudly brought to you by Drinkwise.
On those darker evenings, how does your garden glow? Enjoy the outdoors at night and get your garden up in lights with Illuminate Garden Lighting. Simple, safe and easy to use, Illuminate Garden Lighting is DIY friendly. Sensational quality, Illuminate is the tradie's choice. Pick your lights, plug them in, turn them on and away you go. You'll be kicking goals in your garden with Illuminate. How does your garden glow? Illuminate, Australia's easiest garden lighting system. Available from Bunnings.
Hello, bank.
Hi, I've been hearing about...
Let me guess, you've been hearing about Athena Home Loans and their accelerates.
No, I was actually...
I know. The more you pay it down, the more they lower their rate.
Oh, is that...
And how they put lowering the rate in the customer's hands.
Okay, well, do you do that?
No, the only thing we put in our customers' hands are miniature pens.
Do you get to keep them?
No, they got a little string attached.
Athena Accelerates means the more you pay down your loan, the more we lower your rate. See how at athena.com.au. Athena, love us and leave us. Standard credit criteria, terms, conditions and government charges apply.
Hard Yakka. Toughness is our DNA. No shortcuts. Born in 1930, Hard Yakka's legendary status is in its heritage. Work hard, play hard. And we don't play by the rules. We write them. That's why we've designed the ultimate men's and women's gear and boots for your no-nonsense lifestyle. Designed to work hard on the job or on your weekend adventures. So do your mate or family member a favour. Get them the gear that'll make them feel like a legend. They'll thank you for it. Head to hardyakka.com.au or visit your nearest stockist today.
Keep your eyes closed. Almost there. And open them.
You've taken me to a Chemist Warehouse.
Yep, for the Mayhem half-price vitamin sale. Knew you'd love it. Get half price on big brand vitamins, including Swiss, Synovus, Bioglan, Nature's Way, Blackmore's, Lifespace, Nature's Own, Go Healthy, and more. Sale excludes bulk sizes. Chemist Warehouse. Great savings every day.
To amplify results, performance must be measured. Musashi works with professional athletes, optimizing athletic performance through sports nutrition for all levels of athletes. Musashi, delivering the fuel you need to amplify speed, power, and focus for your sport. Musashi, Performance Amplified.
Ride the storm in 2022. Get down to Amy Park and celebrate Indigenous Round as Melbourne Storm take on Manly Sea Eagles. Thursday, May 26, 7:50pm kick-off with pre-game ceremony. Be early. Tickets available at ticketek.com.au.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
In Ballarat as we welcome you back to AFL Nation for Tyre Power, your match day favourites for tyre safety and McDonald's. Macca's $6 small McChicken meal and cheeseburger on the My Macca's app. We will delve into the preview of a game that has plenty riding on it with Brenton Sanderson after we check in and get the latest, the odds update from Sportsbet.
It's time for an odds update. Thanks to Sportsbet. Sportsbet's bet with mates. Gamble responsibly. 1-800-858-858.
G'day punters, Hammy Goodman here from Sportsbet ahead of the Dogs versus the Suns at Mars Stadium. Bit of a solar system spectacular with Mars and the Suns involved today. Now, the Dogs have won 8 of their last 9 against the Gold Coast. They're going to start $1.39 favourites. The Suns, though, might present a bit of value. $2.94. They, of course, beat the Dockers last week, the Swans the week before. The line is set at a fairly juicy 17.5 points, and the Suns have covered the line in 4 of their last 5 against the Dogs. The over-under today is 159.5 points. Aaron Norton, he is favourite and best backed at $8 in the first goal scorer market. Levi Casbolt at $10. He is the shortest priced Sun. Now, there's a couple of ball magnets getting around today. There's 3 players in action who are averaging in excess of 30 disposals a game across their last 5 matches. Those 3 players are Noah Anderson, Touk Miller, and Jack McRae. If you same game multi all of those blokes together to get 30 disposals or more, that'll get you a pretty healthy $6.25. Enjoy the footy and gamble responsibly.
All thanks to Sportsbet. Gamble responsibly. 1-800-858-858. Both teams are out, so the warm-up's underway for Ream. Ask your plumber to install a Ream steady, hot and strong. A couple of teams at 4 and 5, and the ramifications of this could be quite far-reaching. Andy, hello.
Hello, Jared. Lovely to be here.
And Brenton Sanderson's in good form. Sando, you set the strategic piece up for last night. There are not too many games that I have watched unfold in exactly the manner that an expert has told me you're looking for this and you're looking for this, and both played out, and we did the sums at the end. So you're in good touch. It's great to see you.
Thanks, Jared. It was good fun, obviously, preparing for that game last night with you earlier in the week, and I was a cracker. I loved every minute of it. You know, we saw Carlton at their best, and we saw how gutsy and determined that Swans side could be. But this will be a great game today. You know, like you said, Jared, 2 sides that are 4 and 5, and the Suns are coming off a Fremantle win and a Swans win, so their form's good. And at 4 and 5, they win today against the Bulldogs here in Ballarat. Then they've got Hawks in Darwin, Kangaroos in Darwin. So winnable games. So a win today can potentially, you don't want to look too far ahead, but they could be sitting at 7 and 5 at the bye, the Suns, which is a great, I guess, little carrot to dangle in front of this young group and say, if you want to be in the 8 at the bye, here's your opportunity. Let's get a win against the odds today in Ballarat.
Yeah, this is the path to a finals appearance. This is the path to a new contract. Or this is the step backwards game. You're actually not in this company. So I can't wait for it. I tell you, the only thing you got wrong is a Bodacast. It's glorious in Ballarat. We were sort of thinking, could it be? It's 16 degrees. We might get one more. It might get to 17. You couldn't ask for a better day for Kubota. Together we are shaping and building Australia.
Well, I said to Andy, Jared, that we talked about if I was Stuart Dew this week, I would have told the property steward to leave the long sleeve jumpers at home, because there's young men who obviously train up on the Gold Coast and play up on the Gold Coast, sitting in the mid-20s all week and preparing to come to Ballarat. They would be potentially reaching for that long sleeve, and I would have said, you know what, this is a great challenge for us. But yeah, it's beautiful. You can see none of the players out there in the warm-up have a long sleeve on today for the Suns, so hopefully they're in the right frame of mind to get the job done.
Conditions don't get no better than this. This is still good seeing conditions, beautiful out. This is a perfect day to play a game of footy.
Kubota shaping and building Australia. Signet Power in the commentary team for the upcoming games. Stay charged with Signet. So take us through some of the key aspects to this in your thinking, Sando.
Well, for me, the mouth-watering matchups today are all in the midfield, and we know how good the Western Bulldogs are at their best. Adam Treloar, fantastic player, coming off 3 goals last week, plays his 200th game today, but Smith, McRae, Dunkley, Liberatore, Bontempelli's back. I really like young Riley West as well, who'll get some minutes in there as well. But that is as good as you'll get in the AFL when you look at midfield depth, up against still a relatively young group, but starting to get some shared experience together. So Touk Miller, Rowell, Anderson, Weller, Fiorini. That's going to be the challenge today for me, is can the Suns break even? That's how objective. Contested possessions and clearances break even through the middle part of the ground. I think they match up okay down back. I think the Western Bulldogs, obviously everything comes through Norton in that forward line. But the Gold Coast Suns with Rory Thompson back and Ballard, I think they're going to match up okay against the Western Bulldogs. So it's what happens at ground level when the ball hits the ground is where the game will be won today. But what I like about the Suns, number 2 clearance side in the competition, and Witts is actually having a really good season in the ruck as well. So against young Jordan Sweet, That'll be a matchup to watch today, is how that unfolds. Or do the Western Bulldogs just try and read the ball off of Witts' hands if he gets on top with the hit-outs? He's the number one hit-out player in the competition. Witts is having a fantastic year, so that'll be the challenge today for the Western Bulldogs, is reading the opposition's ruckman if Witts gets on top of Sweet.
Unmissable moments for Drinkwise. Choose to Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you Drinkwise. So there was that curious Suns-Giants game that was played at Mars last year in the disjointed and displaced seasons that we've had through COVID. The Suns thrillingly won by a point when last they played the Bulldogs at the ground, and they weren't much of a team then. They only lost by 9 points, having nagged away at the Dogs all day. So the venue shouldn't create too many fears for them.
Well, 4 of their last 5 meetings have been less than 2-goal margins. So these groups of players, by and large, have played against one another through that phase. Gold Coast Suns know they're competitive against this Western Bulldogs, even when the Dogs have been contending for premiership. So the man-on-man stuff shouldn't phase this group of Gold Coast Suns at all.
No, and what they've been good at, the Gold Coast Suns have been harder for longer this year. That's what you've seen when they get challenged. They've been able to push and grind a little bit longer than previous years. And I think their backline looks like they're really playing well together. They're not relying on a midfielder having to come back and play in one of those high half-back roles. But the other part we've got to keep an eye on today, and we've done a few Suns games this year, when they've been challenged, and that's arresting that momentum back. I've always questioned the Suns for on-field leadership when it really matters. So we know that, Touk Miller's a great player, and we know that Rowell and Anderson are great young players. Swallow and Weller are fantastic young players, but they're not Marcus Bontempelli when it comes to leadership, and they're not Joel Selwood, and they're not Patrick Cripps type leaders when they get challenged. So I think the last piece of the jigsaw for the Suns is to ensure that they take care of the footy, don't have turnovers at critical times, but arresting momentum back in games. So when you're challenged, learn how to grind. That's what I want to see from the Suns today. It's okay to play messy, ugly, contested footy when you need to in games, just to arrest back momentum when the Bulldogs will go on a potential, run block. Scoring block.
Ground's in great shape for Climate and Dakin. Keep warm this winter. Climate Dakin, very warm. So a good turnout for it so far in the sunshine as well. I think we're going to observe a Welcome to Nation at the start here, which hopefully we can join.
Hunting rights, water rights, and song lines. And a welcome all my elders and pay homage to the past, present, and future emerging leaders of Wadawurrung culture. Wadawurrung people are the water tribe. We look after the waterways here through Ballarat's the Yarramlock and the Murrible River. We have 2 tokens, Bunjil the Eagle and Wa the Crow. In 2020, I went into an online during COVID poetry event. I won it. I beat 1,700 poets in the whole of Australia. I'm not going to enter anything again because I've already won one, and that's enough. Because the Australian spirit, we're not greedy, but we're all winners. I'm going to sing you onto my country now. Thank you very much.
The welcome to country at Mars Stadium in Ballarat. They're a great feature right across the games this weekend. So have you got a key matchup or two, Sando, for South Australian Tourism Commission, South Australia? Perfect for those who want a little more this winter.
Yeah, whenever I do a Bulldogs game, I look to who goes to Norton, obviously, and I know the Suns have been strengthened by the return of Thompson, so it's how they use Thompson, Ballard and Collins against Norton. I guess one of those three will go to Norton, with the other two looking to come off and influence the aerial contest as best they can as a second-up defender. And I guess the other end too is O'Brien, Gardner and Keith versus Casbolt and Chol, who have kicked 20 and 19 goals between those two. So 39 goals is a great return for those two recruits.
Enormous.
Coming from Carlton and Richmond, to have that impact for the Gold Coast Suns straight away in their first season. They're working really well together. So, yeah, for me, looking how those packages of key defenders handle, obviously Norton, who's the main target in that Western Bulldogs forward line, and Casbolt and Chol, that two-prong attack in the Suns forward line.
We were chatting off air during crunch time is, if you ran the category biggest bang for the fewest bucks, Levi Casbolt is right at the top of that conversation.
He's a professional. He's not a top level pro, but he's a pro. He turns up every week. He's always in good nick. You know what he can do. He never really surprises you, but he just churns it out. He churns it out to the best of his ability every single week, and he has some weeks that are better than others, but it's never through lack of effort. He never drops his head. He never worries about spraying one wide. He always jumps just as hard for the next one. And in the absence of Ben King, I think we all thought the backside's going to fall out of this team with Ben King. Well, Levi Casbolt said, no, not on my watch. I'll give you something. And now Marbia Chol's alongside him.
Well, the Gold Coast Suns would have taken 20 goals after 9 games, wouldn't
Absolutely,
they? From Casbolt. And Chol's the other one. He's been really impressive too. He's a beautiful set shot for goal for a big man. You can't give him a look at goals inside forward 50 because he rarely misses. Yeah. And he's a great competitor. We've seen games in this year when the Suns haven't won, but he's fought it right out. So, yeah, he's made of the right stuff as well. And, yeah, the Bulldogs can't underestimate this Sun side today. They've got to ensure that they get away to a good start and try and get the young Suns team on the back foot early.
Final words, Brendan Sanderson for buymystock.xx stock. Visit buymystock.com.au.
Well, for me, I still think the Western Bulldogs need to be at their best today to get the win. I know they are favourites, but there's a lot to like about this young Sun side. They've got so much to play for. They've got shared experience now. Guys like Miller and Anderson and Rowell, Fiorini and Weller are all playing games now together, and it looks like they're finding a way to get a game plan that they like and they feel comfortable with. So, yeah, it's going to be a great game. I actually can't wait for this one. I'm thinking the Bulldogs only by a couple of goals in this, but wouldn't surprise me if we get a Suns upset today.
5 Indigenous players in the Suns lineup, all there with Marcus Bontempelli at the coin toss.
The impromptu photo shoot, and they weren't ready for it. They've got 2 on one side of Bont and 3 on the other. It was like they were all in the one team, but it was great. It was really good.
Well, it is good how much the Indigenous players love this game too, right? Like we saw last night with Motlop, he just was having the time of his life out there, and the Suns well represented today, and I'm sure they're going to have some fun out there.
That's the pre-game show for Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops. Answer the Camel's call. Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops and Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring now in store. They fan out to their positions in Geelong this afternoon. It's the Cats and Port Adelaide. We will dot scores right throughout around the grounds for Kangan Institute. 13 TAFE. And he set us up for it. The opening bounces pending. Tyre Power, tyre safety experts, week in, week out.
So it's a big game, obviously, in terms of where these two sit on the ladder. Both 4-5, 9v12. It's that stage of the season. We're approaching the mid-season bye. Sando was talking about in the pre-game. It's an important time to get into that mid-part of the season where you can reassess and set up in as good a nick as you can. And this is significant for these two today. It really is. The opening bounce about to be delivered under perfect skies here in Ballarat. It's a good crowd that have rolled up again, as they always do. It's Wits and Sweet who will jump at one another. It's a perfect bounce. We're underway here at Mars. Witts tries to take it with him. Bontempelli, the first touch to McRae. The handball goes out the back up towards half forward. He's looking for Smith. The bounce wasn't friendly. Farah runs on the end of the handball. Ballard drives it down the line. Richards, Rankin. That could be a nice little feisty matchup if those two are running with one another. He tries to get it out the back to Ainsworth, who was held. Nice tackle. And the free kick is going to go to Daniel. Daniel reels onto his right, drives it back up to half forward. Karmas comes at it. There were three of them. The spoil from the front was from Bontempelli. In the end, it went all the way back to Collins, who got it to Ballard, and he settles it down and gets it to Weller.
I think Karmas was going to mark that. Had the Bont not intervened. So the Suns kick it around in defence. They're going to come back through Collins in the defensive goal square, and he measures up the pass short. Miller working deep in defence. The exit kick is not great, and it's going to turn over, and it gives the Dogs a chance. Kick came inside from Bailey-Dale, was partially smothered. Trelaw's in and under, has to release it, does. Dunkley dragged off his kick. Miller went high. He's given up the free kick to McNeil, and it is well within range.
Well, he knew he'd made an error there. Took Miller, he had the arm over the shoulder and quickly pulled it back, but the umpire had seen enough. Slightly over the shoulder, and first shot at goal for the Western Bulldogs.
So the Dogs chose to kick to the left of screen in this opening term. So if there is any sort of breeze, it will be at Lachie McNeil's back. But he's certainly close enough that the distance is not an issue. McNeil on approach, strikes it across the face of goal. And the opening score is a behind on the Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Robots got it.
Here for Tyre Power and McDonald's. They go short into the pocket. And driving it out now down towards the centre wing position. Member side of the ground. Big pack whistle in the contest. They look around. It's going to go to Witts. Very vigilant on any blocking or holding before the point of launch. Witts, the recipient, he drives it up towards half forward, probably tugs it. And he does nicely, finds Rankin in the end just to kick it about half a kick out, too far out to score. He goes short to Miller, just outside 50, still just that fraction too far out. Not a lot of movement further ahead. He pokes it into the pocket. Pack flies, Casbolt on the second bite, almost had it. And then Dale with the spoil thumps it over the boundary line. So they'll have a throw in as the Suns go into attack for the first time. Opening minutes on the Makuta Ruley Outdoors clock. Perfect conditions. Throw in, 20 out from the Suns' goal. Witts assumes front position. Chance for Swallow. Bontempelli read the handball. It was intended for Rankin. Rankin stayed in the hunt. Bontempelli gets the kick away. Karmas, nice launch. Got off his man, took a lovely mark. He might have power for company. It was good in the air. Gives it to Bontempelli, who ran to receive up towards half forward, 2v1. And great to see Rory Thompson back playing footy. Does what he does, takes a stout mark in defence.
That is assertive stuff. He gives ground to Lemons. The Suns are going to switch out the far side. Ainsworth down at the defensive 50. He's having a prolonged look down the line. The options really are short. So they will have to be patient in the way that they set this play up. Farah with footy in hand brings it inboard to Ballard. Powell leads for him on the 45, but still inside the defensive arc. And now stretching back the near side. Thompson, that's pretty well where he took the mark, and he delivers the Suns outside the defensive area this time for Ellis. He's going back inside. Not sure. Powell has it. 40 from defensive goal, low down Anderson on the bump. Here comes the turnover. He lays the tackle to avert the danger initially. Miller to Powell, overwhelmed by the tackling pressure. Got it onto his boot, but it went nowhere. Fed to Trelaw from Scott. Game 200, been doing it all his career. Not this one, though. He slaps at his hands at the opportunity missed. A behind for Trelaw. Two behinds. The Dogs, nothing. The Suns. Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Robots got it.
4 minutes into the opening quarter here. On the Makuta clock, Farah goes short to Thompson. Outer side, back pocket, short again to Weller, who pushes up from that wing in defensive 50. They look to share it sideways again. In the end, he gets it out of there under a bit of sustained pressure, that defence. Rao gets the crumb, wing, outer side around the body. Just the required. Sweets in the contest. Nice third man up stuff from Swallow. Read the opportunity nicely. Seized it. Rankin in the middle of Mars Stadium. They look to switch, open it up now. Fat side presents, and he should have taken the mark, Ainsworth. He was up in front of the pack. He just fumbled. Daniel at ground level gets it out to Scott. They sweep it out of defence. Norton gets his first look at it, crunched in the contest, couldn't mark Lemons. Quick hands, Ellis around the body. Miller runs, could go on, decides to now. In the pocket, Joel comes out. The defensive fist was there from Gardner. And over the boundary line it goes as the Dogs swarmed on Marby or Chol, who did look likely.
It's not the game style that the Suns are after, Andy. They've been very methodical. They've been very careful in the back half. Normally they go a little bit faster and a bit more direct.
Boundary throw in for Snaffle. Inside the Suns 50. Rankin ferrets away underneath. Hand passes it around. Can they get the shot at goal from Weller? He pulled it across the face after he got it from Holman. And he too misses. So all minors so far. 2 the Dogs, 1 the Suns. Robot Building Supply scoreboard. Robots got it.
AFL Nation for tyre power. Buy 3, get 1 free on selected Falcon tyres. Dale goes short. It was telegraphed, and Marby Ochol read the eyes absolutely perfectly. Saw where it was going to go. Chipped in and takes the mark. 35 out directly in front. Gardner was the intended receiver, and Chol was doing the right thing. Looked at what Bailey Dale was seeing down the ground and read it beautifully. Now his kicking's been terrific. He should be able to convert here. Just the gentlest of breezes here in Ballarat today. In he comes and he's pushed it way out to the left and it scrapes through for a bye. That's a really poor kick from Chol. 2 behinds apiece on the Robot Building Supply scoreboard. Robots got it. We've been going 6.5 minutes in the first quarter.
Dale just takes off this time rather than pinpointing a kick up the corridor, and he plays it out wide for Richards, who marks and plays on. Dumps it down the outer wing. Off hands it comes to Lemons, who ran straight into McRae but was able to release the footy. Swallow to Miller. Chance for Gold Coast to work through the centre of the ground. It's taken by Ainsworth. As a look at the deep targets, Casbolt and Scholl will be making their moves. Ainsworth is going to give them a chance in the forward pocket. Scholl's got plenty of company. And folding back in front, Richards to take the intercept mark.
Scholl was under a lot of body pressure as he was trying to work to the front position, and an extra coverage from the Dogs' defence was good. Dunkley marked, still in defensive 50, out of sight of the ground. Short he goes, and Bailey Smith's made a quiet start to this game. Does what he needs to and takes the mark and calls for a bit of calm as players were calling for him. Then he goes down the line, hugs the boundary line, looks for the big ruckman off hands of Jordan Sweet. It goes out of bounds, they'll have a throw in.
Well, both sides playing a bit of cautious footy in their back half. The Suns look pretty good when they get the ball in that sort of attacking mid area, attacking mid-bound, but both teams looking to share it across half-back, trying to build the ball.
Brenton Sanderson for buymystock.com.au. McRae a chance from the boundary throw-in, wrapped up by Rouse straight away. Tries to keep it in front. Swallow goes in with Bailey Williams. Happy to see the ball over the boundary line. We'll have another throw-in. Lovely colourful atmosphere here in Ballarat today. We've had some challenging weather conditions down here over the years. This is one of the really good ones. Fiorini gets the crumb, hacks it forward to Rankin, who just had a step on Richards, but the boundary line was too tight, and he carries it over for another throw and a bit closer to the Gold Coast Suns goal. Luke Beveridge coaching from the boundary line today. Witts does nicely. Fiorini again. Handballs it inside forward 50. Hitting it hard was Ainsworth at ground level. Richards keeps his feet, gets it to Dale. Quick succession of handballs. It finds its way to Treloar. Just dumps it out of defensive 50. Suns have got numbers. Terrific tackle by Lachlan McNeil. The arm was pinned. The player had the footy. It wasn't coming out, and it's going to be a free kick against Booterig. I think to the Western Bulldogs.
Decided to ball it up. Yeah. Bailey Smith roves the tap, penetrating entry, Norton. He was just able to keep Collins underneath the flights, and a clean break from the stoppage sets Norton up at full forward.
You called it right, Jared. The clean break allowed Norton to be one-on-one there with Collins. Suns will be disappointed with that. You can't allow time and space to the Western Bulldogs midfielders to be able to measure their kicks inside forward 50. You can't let Norton 1v1 with his opponent.
That's a proper tap to advantage from Jordan Sweet. Aaron Norton close in for the first of the afternoon. He has landed it. And the Dogs at a 1-2-8. The Suns 2 behinds. Robot Building Supply scoreboard. Robots got it at Geelong early minutes. The Cats are 3 behinds. Port Adelaide yet to score. Around the grounds for Kangan Institute, 13 TAFE.
That was a great hit out from Jordan Sweet. Hit out to advantage. Attacked the corridor, and Smith just had time to put it to the advantage of Norton, who just lent on his opponent, Collins. Genuine 1v1 contest. The spoil attempt came late from Ballard, and talked about that in the pre-game. The ability for that second up Suns defender to come off his opponent and try and read that ball going to Norton. But that example then, they just had too much time to be able to pinpoint the kick to advantage.
It was a good replay, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A good replay for Easy Debit. Join Easy Debit today.
Scholl takes his turn, jumps over the top of Cordy, who's been pinged for shepherding. Stood his ground. The bounce landed on top of his head. He had to almost get out of the drop zone to satisfy the umpire. They go forward. There's contest. It's O'Brien who went to ground, and it's O'Brien who receives the free kick. He decides to switch and gives it to Keith. Back pocket member side of the ground. Just seeing back in the team makes a huge difference to this Dogs lineup. Goes down the line, but they're reading it better than anyone was Ballard. It didn't get to Norton, and he chips in and takes a uncontested chest mark. Pack flies. Here they come. No one can get a hand to it. Ground level. A couple had a look. Liberatore in the middle of it. Hacks it out of there on the left side, but it's only as far as Farah. Oh, who got one from Karmas after he'd taken the mark. The Suns are displeased. It was right down the middle of the Gold Coast Sun. It was a bit crude. Be surprised if this isn't 50 metres. I suspect it should be. It was after the mark had been taken. He was not in the marking contest. They go on with Buka Karmas here, and it was undisciplined and unnecessary in the end. Clearly not a spoiling attempt, I don't think, Sando. So
no, it was a little bit too late, and sometimes the players just, they overcommit. They're so wound up to have an impact on that contest, and that one was just too late.
So Farah from 15 out now, directly in front. He kicks a goal, and he kicks his second career goal, his first of the season, and the Gold Coast Suns square it up here at Mars. It is 1-2 apiece. We've been going 12 and a half minutes into the first quarter.
Yeah, and it's a pretty even contest so far. The numbers look pretty even across the board. The Suns are actually getting outside the Western Bulldogs at the moment with some of those uncontested possessions. But yeah, we're just looking at the replay now of the Buku Karmas incident. He swept with the elbow instead of trying to punch the ball, and went elbow in the back of the head straight away. That's a free kick and a 50. So no arguments for me on that one. That's a 50 every day of the week.
He'll be lucky if he doesn't pay for the privilege of playing, I suspect. Easy Debit, join Easy Debit today. I'm not sure even our MRO could say that was reasonable in the circumstances. Scores are level. AFL Nation for Tyre Power and for McDonald's. Good high bounce to work with. Scholl up, wins the tap down. Fiorini feeds it to Miller. Kick comes up to half forward. It's going to take some chasing. Rolling out toward the boundary. Dale hand passed it to himself. You don't see that very often. Kicked out across the face of goal, so he used it well for Cordy. He's going to flare the Bulldogs to the far side. Williams marks and gives it to Bailey Smith, who's at full fiddle. Kicks into the pocket, and McNeil. Glorious ball movement from the Dogs.
That is the Dogs at their best. That's what we love seeing them do. The overlap run and carry, get the ball outside the contest. They're so fast if you give them time and space.
Twice now, Bailey Smith's kicks inside 50 have been perfect.
It's a tough shot. That's probably the only quibble you'd have, is by the time it arrived to McNeil, he's going to be outside the boundary. He's had a sighter. McNeil, the test of accuracy, trying to feed it in, and he has. There's a bit of local knowledge in that. Fed it left to right at the far goal post. The Dogs re-establish their lead. 2-2 to 1-2. That's the goal of the game for Host Plus. That's a plus.
Well, coaches hate that. Coast-to-coast goals against, where the ball goes inside your own forward 50, turnover, if the opposition can go with a rebound 50 kick and have a shot for goal inside their own forward line, you're always questioning your defensive schemes, your defensive ability to get set up and break those chains down earlier. And that's what the Bulldogs do at their very best. They almost invite you, tease you to kick the ball inside your own forward line where they've got their numbers and they can spread it to the open side. And Suns have been really good to start this match, but that was a moment they'll want to have back. Just a defensive lapse in concentration.
Brenton Sanderson for buymystock.com.au. Back in the middle we go. McRae had a look at it. He tried to farm it to Bonampelli. He did, but Rao was in his back pocket, wrapped him up straight away. We'll have another ball up, just ever so slightly the Suns' attacking side. That Stevic wants separation from the ruckman. He gets it for about a split second. Liberatore crashes in. He's wrapped up. It's not coming out. We'll have another ball up.
I'd like to see the Bailey Dale hand pass to himself again.
Yeah, that would be nice. Kicked off the ground quickly by Anderson, but only as far as Daniel at half-back. He stood his ground, swivelling the head, looking for an immediate release. There was nothing there for him. Now called to play on. So he comes short. It's not the best of kicks, but Bonampelli was good enough to get there and glove it. Marks wing position right up against the boundary line. Down the line he goes. Smith gets the one hand up, can't mark it. Lemons tried to get it to Ellis. The handball was it missed at ground level. McComb gets it to West, who threads his way through traffic nicely. Bonampelli, handball at the back to McRae. Just had a little fumble at the half volley, then turns it over. Holman to Ellis, wrapped up by McRae. Tries to get the handball out. It's a chance now. They work it forward. It's Jeffrey who hacks it up to half forward, but only as far as Cleary, who takes the mark on the members' side of the ground, half-back flank for the Western Bulldogs.
Dogs by a goal. 8 minutes to go in the opening term. Makita ruled the outdoors. The Bulldogs set it up around the broadcast wing. Farah took a fly at the pack to disrupt the flow. Back to Ellis, pursued by West. Released it to Lemons. Took the side step to open up some space. Threw it onto the boot, and it was effective. Mark taken by Swallow up at half forward. He has a look at the leading targets, and he's picked out Jeffrey in the right forward pockets.
Yeah, good ball movement. They were able to just hack the ball forward, and just when you give them a little bit of time and space, they can measure their kicks inside forward 50. That's going to be the key element today for the Suns. Just lower your eyes inside forward 50. Get it forward when you can, but smart kick by Swallow. Got over the back of the defence.
20-year-old out of the Northern Territory, playing his 6th game this afternoon. Joel Jeffrey, tight angle, right forward pocket, navigated it superbly and split the middle, and didn't he love it? He's done a little bit of a goose step in celebration. He was in attendance at the toss as one of the Indigenous players in the Suns lineup, and he's got a Sir Doug Nichols round memory to savour. Scores level again. 2-2, each of 2 on the Robot Building Supply scoreboard. Robots got it.
Yeah, I talked about a little bit of a system breakdown before with the Suns defensively. We saw it there for the Western Bulldogs that time. They just lost their matchups, and when Swallow got back off the mark and lowered his eyes, they were still all pointing who was going to who, the Western Bulldogs. And the young man, Jeffrey, from NT, went back. That was a beautiful set shot. They're tough pockets here in Ballarat.
Yeah,
really tough pockets, and we've seen the last 2 set shots go through perfectly.
Well, they're on theme here, the Gold Coast Suns. So Doug Nichols round and Jeffrey out of the Northern Territory and Farah out of Halls Creek have got the ball rolling for the visitors, as Liberatore does now for the Dogs from the stoppage. Goes forward, and in the middle of a whole lot of players, one bloke had his eyes on the footy, feet on the ground, clean hands, and it was Aaron Norton who marks about 35 out on a slight angle.
Geez, good aerial, isn't he? His ability.
It's beautiful.
His hands are vice-like when he gets near it, but you just can't give him any run at the footy at all. But amongst 3 Suns players, disappointing there for the Suns.
He's kicked one, he comes in, he's missed it to the near side. Probably see bigger jumps at the footy today, but it is a very strong mark for hangmytv.com.au. It's 2-3-15, the Western Bulldogs, 2-2-14. The Gold Coast Suns 19 minutes into the first quarter.
Butterick on the restart finds Lemons in the back pockets. He's going to hug the boundary on the broadcast side, take the territory right to the wing. Witts is there to jump at it. He had plenty with him. Rowell dispossessed initially, ended up with it again. He's still in the McNeil tackle. The ball skittles around. Chol gets in there. McRae threatens. Fiorini had a play. It spills the way of Anderson. Ran past the footy. McRae with a hand pass to Daniel, to Smith, inside the 50. It won't reach Karmas, who was the lead-up target. West is close by. Thompson with a defensive hand pass. Weller got clobbered by Buku. The whistle didn't go. West ferrets it clear. Got it to McComb. He misses to the left. Dogs by 2 points. Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Robots got it.
Good hands by Weston out of the contest.
Feels he's playing for his future every time he suits up now, Riley West. And he was good last week when he came back into the team. He's done a couple of nice things here, Sando, early.
Remember, his father was the same. He had good hands, didn't he? Out of the contest.
He sure did. They share it across the last line here. Now Farah decides to go out the other side of the ground. 2-4 plays, 2-2. The Dogs by a couple, ranking at ground level. Handballs inside to Miller, who's getting his share of the footy as he always does. Fiorini up towards Chol, can't mark, ground level. Rosas was nice. Anderson, quick kick up towards half forward. A couple of them come out of clear. He had the sit on Ainsworth and he came in with the defensive spoil and thumps it out of bounds, about 50 out from the Gold Coast goal.
Good player, Cleary. He's shown some good things, the rookie. The Ainsworth matchup's really important today too. The Gold Coast Suns small forward reminds me of Jamie Elliott from Collingwood. Really good small aerial player.
By Morris Boy, Luke Cleary, ground level. Rankin wrapped up again by McNeil. It's not coming out. We'll have another ball up just inside the Gold Coast Suns 50. Wits, sweet. Rowell in the contest, almost got one high, ran straight at McRae. Toe pokes at Dunkley, gets the crumb, hacks it out of defence, 50, ball bounces, middle of the ground, got to be one here, McCone, first one onto it, on his left, up towards half forward. Unfortunately, Karmas is a mile off that, and Ballard read it better than anyone and takes the defensive mark.
Dogs by 2, short on the way out for Anderson. Back of the centre square. He is meandering as he took off. He's hung this up badly. Arriving to spoil was Williams. He gathers, ducks a tackle and can kick the goal. Bailey Williams proactive. It is a defensive calamity though. It opens the Dogs' lead up to 8 points, 3-4 to 2-2. The worrying aspect in the Suns game so far is when they have gone slow and backwards in defence, and thus far it has cost them 2 goals.
Yeah, I don't understand it, Jared. I didn't forecast this. They've been so careful and so much east-west ball movement in their back half. For some reason, the strategy today when they're caught in defence is to switch the ball to the open side and potentially try and go, but each time they've tried to switch the ball, it's got picked off. Or, I mean, they've taken a lot of marks so far in the game. What are they up to? They're up to 32 marks already, and I think a lot of them would be in the back half.
No doubt.
But that time then, that was just telegraphed and intercept and goal by Williams. Disappointing from the Suns. They've been going fast and direct most of the season.
And Amy Clanger, who covers Clangers, Amy does.
It was certainly one of those. It's 3-4 to 2-2, 23 minutes into the opening quarter. Ball to be won. McRae does so. Gets it out to Treloar. Has a bounce. He runs into space. Swallow trailing in his wake. He doesn't find the target. Chance Neal's been busy in the opening quarter. McComb's had his hand on the footy a bit lately. Liberatore on the right foot. Up towards full forward. Big pack. Thompson with a decisive fist. They were hammered again. And it comes to Treloar on the left. And he just pushes it across the face. And not for the first time this quarter. Disappointed with himself. 3-5 at 23. The Dogs 2-2-14. Robot Building Supplies scoreboard.
Kick into Collins, who calls the runners to come at him. He delivers down the wing. Scholl on an expansive lead. Whistle went early. He clasped it against Keith. Scholl gets the Suns moving. Kick clears the contest at half forward. Daniel is there in defence. He will get it back the other side of the boundary. As they thought about waxing, it didn't amount on that occasion.
Around the grounds for Kangan Institute, Geelong did all the early attacking, 4 behinds on the board, and Port Adelaide have steadied. It's 2-1-13 the visitors, 4 behinds the Cats.
Dogs by 9, Suns in attack at the boundary throw-in. It landed short of the ruckman. Liberatore hands it off to Treloar. It did feel like a handoff. I reckon it's been paid as a throw. Swallows footy. Without too much hesitation, he's going to give Casbolt a run at this, up into the pocket. He arrives, hands to it, couldn't hang on. Free kick.
Free kick, yep.
High contact, chop of the arms. Take your pick against Gardner.
It's a nice kick by Swallow, once again to the advantage of Casbolt. You know, if he just gets a run and jump at it. Great climb. Felt like he probably should have taken the mark, but just a little bit sloppy defensively after the ball left the contest. This will be a challenge, though, for Levi.
20 goals, 11 this season. Levi Casbolt to step in from the boundary, 25 metres from goal. A test of accuracy, which he will not meet. It leaks across the face of goal and through for a behind. 8-point deficit the Suns face. Robot Building Supply scoreboard. Robot's got it.
Daly looks to go down the middle, but it wasn't presenting anything for him, so he had Daniel sitting on his own at the arc. A 50 finds him. He plays on straight away. Norton's providing all sorts of problems for Collins early. Takes the mark, pokes it over the top. Good defensive work from Farah. Got up in front of Liberatore, didn't give the free kick away, then butted up to be the third man in. And off hands it goes out of bounds. So a couple of good defensive acts there from Jai Farah.
He called it well, though, Andy. The Dogs have to go quick to get the ball to Norton 1v1 because he's all over Collins in those 1v1 aerial contests.
Thrown in, arc of 50, Witts in front. Umpire calls play on. Chance now for Scott on the left, top of the square he goes. Norton just had a little bit of running room. He got separation from Collins. And his acceleration, Sando, into the mark was just a thing of beauty.
I love watching him play. He does that so well. At no point did I think he was going to mark that.
Never a chance.
The Suns actually got around him pretty well, got some body on him before the jump as well. Collins is just trying to hold him down. And the support was everywhere that time from the Suns, but to no avail.
So he's about 20 out, slight angle, comes in, kicks his second. And he's a handful right now. He always is. But early stages, he's looming large in this one. Norton's got 2. The Dogs have got 4. 4-5-29. The Gold Coast Suns 2-3-15.
Well, you'd probably Stewie Jew there. You'd grab the phone and you'd want to get the message down. We've got to get more aerial support against Norton. And then you probably just look at the replay and put the phone back down and just say, you know what, we actually had enough support there. Yeah. He's just such a good player. But yeah, Collins will be getting frustrated now. He'll be saying to his teammates, any of those high ones in, just come from everywhere and give me a hand. I'll try and lock him away, try and prevent his run. But if he gets 4 or 5 steps momentum into the contest, Norton, he's really hard to defend. He's having a great first quarter.
He is indeed. Safety, steel sheds, stats. Sweet and Witts go at it in the middle. Dogs by 14. Witts wins the tap. Ball spills the way of Anderson. He can send Gold Coast to half forward. It came up short and Richards has been busy early. Hands it off to Daniel. Checks his kick for halfback. Cleary's on the spot. Has a look at the switch. Just holds up a hand and says no. And then looks into the centre of the ground. High risk kick. Edwards made it good. And he takes off. See if they can take full toll. Across the middle to Smith. He's got the runner on in Keith, would you believe, but Bailey Smith's going more direct. He probably should have used the link man. Farah stands his ground in front and takes the intercept mark. A reprieve for the Suns. Out to Ellis. And he links it up with Miller. All up the broadcast side. Took Miller. Gets right under a kick, which floats very close to the boundary, off the hands of Casbolt and out of play. AFL Nation for Tyre Power. Buy 3, get 1 free on selected Falcon tyres. It's the Dogs by 14 inside the final minute of the opening term on the Makita Rule the Outdoors clock.
Already 4 marks in the opening quarter for Aaron Norton on the safety. Steel sheds. So the ball thrown in. Sweet wins the tap work. Pootering was first onto it. And the big ruckman gave away the free kick to the small back pocket player, who gives the handball straight away. Lemons runs past up towards half forward. Chol in front, can't mark ground level. Nice gather by Swallow. He's got a man on. He just overcooked it for Casbolt, but Jeffrey was trailing him into the hole and takes a nice mark in front of Clear, and he'll go back directly in front from 20 out for his second.
He's had some nice touches. Looks like he's a reasonable player. Ability just to be able to read that aerial contest coming in.
He's got some good sporting genes, this young man. And he should kick his second. The Gold Coast third as the siren goes for quarter time. So this becomes a significant kick. 14 points the margin. Give them something really positive to take into quarter time, and he makes no mistake, straight through the middle. So Joel Jeffrey kicks a couple, and the Gold Coast Suns cut the margin at quarter time. Jeffrey's got 2. 4-5, 29 to 3-3. 21's the scoreline.
Goal kickers, 2 for Norton, 1 for McNeil and Williams, 2 for Jeffrey and 1 to Farah. Dogs by 8 points at GMHBA Stadium. It is the Cats now. They've kicked a couple of goals. They lead it by 5 points heading towards quarter time. AFL Nation for Tyre Power and for McDonald's, $6 small McChicken meal and cheeseburger on the My Macca's app.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Robot Building Supplies. Robots got it.
This isn't a joke, people. KFC is now delivering its hot and spicy straight to your door. So get comfy on the couch. And remember, this offer's only on the KFC app and delivery fees apply.
Every interview and every show. Listen to the podcast now. Just click the catch-up button on the SEN app.
If your business has stock that you just can't move, buymystock.com.au. Make your unwanted stock problems go away. Visit buymystock.com.au today.
We buy stock that you can't move. Buymystock.com.au.
Get the power of safer tyres before you go on holidays. A road safety message from Tyre Power.
Having out-of-balance tyres causes uneven tread wear and an uncomfortable ride. You'll also cop excess wear on your suspension and other parts of your vehicle. If you experience severe vibration while driving, especially highway speeds, get your tyres dynamically balanced at your local Tyre Power store straight away.
Get the power of expert advice. Get the power of Australia's biggest independent. Tyre Power.
Get the power.
You'll never miss a moment with all of your favourites live on KO Sports. Every match of the NRL and AFL seasons, as well as every F1 race live and ad break free during play. The NBA playoffs are also heating up, and it's the biggest season of netball ever. That's right, all the big hits, high-flying heroics and buzzer beaters ready to watch anywhere, anytime. How good is that? New to KO? Start your free trial today.
To play your best game, you need the right fuel, like a stack of pancakes before or after the game. So reward yourself and your club with Pancake Parlour's Club Rewards program. Earn a point for every $1 spent by your club, with $5,000 cash awarded to the club with the most points. Your club even receives a $1,000 sponsorship pack just for signing up. Visit pancakeparlour.com.au and click on the Rewards tab. Pancake Parlour's Club Rewards. Lovely.
If you work in the manufacturing and engineering space, you can't afford to miss Australian Manufacturing Week, June 7 to 10. This annual event showcases all the latest innovations, technologies and equipment recently developed in the manufacturing and precision engineering sectors. Witness technological excellence firsthand while networking with industry leaders and technology experts all under one roof. Don't miss Australian Manufacturing Week, Darling Harbour, Sydney, June 7 to 10. Admission is free. Register to attend at australianmanufacturingweek.com.au.
At Dawson's Pest Control, we're experiencing unprecedented growth, so we're currently hiring full-time positions in pest management with full training. If you're looking for your next career move, consider Dawson's. At Dawson's Pest Control, you'll get full training to national standards, the use of a company vehicle, and great job satisfaction. So if you're friendly, hardworking and willing to learn, apply online today. All pests, all suburbs, same-day service. Dawson's, the pest professionals. Call 9222 2222 or visit dawsonspest.com.au.
They say every lawn is different, and that's true. But for landscapers, the solution is always the same. Install Rainbird. Backed by 80 years of irrigation innovation, easy to use with a massive range suitable for any job. From Tom's backyard to your local golf course to the MCG itself. So while every lawn is different, installing Rainbird gives you the same green results every time. Rainbird, the intelligent use of water. Learn more at rainbird.com.
So Someone's guaranteed to win a $3.2 million Butter prize home, and tickets are just $2. A Hampton-style home in Queensland featuring 4-bed and 4-bath, 2 outdoor entertaining areas, plus gym, pool and sauna. Visit martalotteries.com.au. T's and C's apply.
To amplify results, performance must be measured. Masashi works with professional athletes, optimizing athletic performance through sports nutrition for all levels of athletes. Masashi, delivering the fuel you need to amplify speed, power and focus for your sport. Masashi, performance amplified.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now. Maccas, I'm loving it moments. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today.
Bailey Smith rows the tap, penetrating entry, Norton. Aaron Norton close in for the first of the afternoon. He has landed it. McNeil, the test of accuracy, trying to feed it in, and he has. Playing his 6th game this afternoon. Joe Jeffrey, tight angle, right forward pocket, navigated it superbly. And split the middle, and didn't he love it? Dogs by 8, quarter time. Icon Services, commercial cleaning, integrated property solutions. A thought or two, Brenton Sanderson.
Well, I'm just looking at the ground now. They've already made the change. Collins has come off of Norton. Norton now has Rory Thompson as the matchup. Interesting to see whether the Suns persist with this switching the ball in the back half. It didn't work for him in the first quarter.
Opening down second quarter for Tyre Power.
Miller has first access, dragged off it by Liberatore, who worked a hand pass to Bailey Smith, bounces the Dogs forward. Scott coming one way, Ballard the other. Bontempelli brushed his way clear of Ellis, fed it to Scott, kicks the Dogs to full forward. Norton against a couple. He's got it off the pack and he bumbled it through for a goal. His third. And he does look quite unstoppable. He lost the headband in the contest, but he lost nothing else. And what was gained by the Suns after the quarter-time siren is instantly lost. 5-5 to 3-3 on the Athena home loan scoreboard.
Yeah, well, Powell almost looked like he tried to mark that ball coming in. The Gold Coast Suns, small defender. So he tried to take the aerial against Norton. Poor play. As you said, Jared, the headband flicked off to Norton. That's why he's so dangerous, because he's such a good aerial player. But he's just as damaging at ground level as well. He gets on those loose balls when they do come off the contest, and all of a sudden he's 25 seconds into the second quarter, he's got 3 goals.
No Cameron Clayton and Tony Bahaja type shenanigans with the headband. He just went and picked it up and put it back on. We're back in the middle. Bailey Smith, he's had a quietish start. If he gets going, then it might be bad news for the Suns. They hack it forward, however, from the Smith kick that did dribble along the ground. They go looking for Casbolt, but really it was a kick just for distance, and it goes out of bounds about 45 out from the Suns' goal. Thompson was the kicker.
Just for safety still sheds, Andy. Some of the stats, though, it's pretty even. When you look at clearances, contested ball, rebound 50s, inside 50s, it's all pretty level. Just Dogs a bit more efficient going inside 50.
Scott again, handballs it out to Smith, sweeping handball further afield to Bontempelli. Bit of running room and space, and Norton almost claims another one. He put it to grass. Collins got his hands on the foot. He was wrapped up straight away. West in the middle of all of that, and now at the bottom of it all, and the umpire says, I'll ball it up.
Well, so in the first quarter too, see, Norton competed for that aerial contest. They left that to a midfielder in the first quarter. That time he came up the ground.
Liberatore, first hands on a squared ruck contest. Miller tries to get out of there. Sweet wraps him up. And it's not coming out.
So, Andy, just to expand on that, so if I'm Luke Beveridge, I want Norton inside 50 as much as I can. That's where he's going to do his damage. I actually want to keep him closer to home, not up the ground.
Dunkley tries to toe poke it out of there. Didn't get purchase. West, handball back. That looked like his old man. Smith on the right foot. Low, quick ball in. Norton again! In front position. If it wasn't the mark, it was going to be the free kick as Thompson dragged into ground. And he is a real presence.
Well, he's so good, isn't he, one-on-one? And I've been singing his praises for how good his hands are. That one was on the chest. That was actually a one-hander. Just bobbled around a little bit. Maybe didn't control it for long enough, but the effort was fantastic.
20 out, directly in front for his 4th. It's a couple of minutes and he's missed it from Almost the unmissable spot across the face through for a behind. Blots the copybook. 5-6-36 the Western Bulldogs. 3-3-21 the Suns on the Athena home line scoreboard.
He is running hot for Ream. More than 80 years manufacturing in Australia. Collins and Powell combined to bring the ball for Rankin on the slide. He takes the mark. The Suns directed play around the broadcast wing. Quarter time in Geelong. It's the Cats by 11 over Port Adelaide. Long down the line. Swallow had to make it good, and he did. He'll wheel onto the right and give them a look deep. Choles his man. Witts is coming from a long way back. Bulldogs scrambled well in defence. Thumped away and out of play.
There may be an emerging story in Geelong here. Patrick Dangerfield looks like he's done something to a left knee. So he's, I don't know, we can put your minds at rest. He's starting the second quarter, so that replay looked a whole lot worse than it eventually was.
Left forward pocket for the Suns. Witts takes it out of the ruck. He was in the tackles. Lost it to Smith out near Cleary. Fumbled. Williams lends a hand to him though. And the give and go was excellent. Bailey Williams creates the play. Norton's his target. Back into Thompson, who kept it away. McNeil off the turf. Out to Norton. Hand pass to Khamis. Steps inside. Lobs it inside the 50. Bontempelli underneath. Punched away from him. All about the crumb. It really won't come out. Collins laid a firm tackle on the Bont. And buried it all. 25 out from goal. Eyes darting around a forward 50 stoppage. Witts trails in against Norton. Witts taps it down underfoot. Miller against the flow. Tried to barge his way clear. He did well to squeeze the kick away. Will it work though? Scott leads Ellis in the chase for the footy. Ellis just pushes him out. You can be as aghast as you like, but if you put two hands into the number, you are going to give away the free kick.
Yeah, and you need to be careful when you disagree with the umpire's decision. So Scott on his left, up towards full forward. Khamis flies, couldn't take the mark. Ground level, Lemons wrapped up. Dunkley's got him in the end, and we'll have a ball up about 30 out from the Dogs' goal, out just outside the corridor. In fact, it's closer to goal than that. It's about 20 out. Witts gets it down. It was Lemons cruising through. Bontempelli in traffic. On the left, has the snap, misses to the near side. Peppering away early here, the Dogs. 5-7-37. Gold Coast a 3-3-21 Athena home line scoreboard.
And Andy, you said that Bailey Smith's having a quiet start to this game. He's just crept up to the highest possession winner on the ground for safety still sheds, up to 10.
Farah to Lemons, long around the outer wing. Ellis plays underneath, tackled by Treloar. Ball it up.
He doesn't stay quiet for long, does he?
No, it's impossible to keep him out of the contest.
Sweet. Had first touch on it. Liberatore defensive hand pass. Bailey Smith again in the play. Hand passes to Cleary. Centering ball to centre half forward for Williams, who's been a threat coming forward. He feeds a hand pass off to Dale. Full flow, 48 out. Won't quite make the distance. McNeil knocked it back into the field of play. Thompson socketed it, and it ended up missing the behind post and going out of bounds. So it's sort of hard in mouth as whether the umpire gives you the benefit of the doubt or not. It's going to be a boundary throw in.
Well, there was no intent to keep the ball in play.
No, well, he was trying to concede the rush behind, but usually the error costs it. Khamis taps it down underfoot. And passed over his head, Liberatore to Treloar, out the back to Smith, now to Williams. Hoiks the ball to full forward. Now Norton's going to have plenty to jump against here. Collins double-fisted spoil. Again, out of play.
The Bulldogs won't mind this though. The ball's locked away in their front half. They're not scoring from these stoppages, but the ball's not leaving the area, so they get a chance just to prevent Gold Coast getting outside the contest and running, which is what they were obviously trying to do today.
Heap of players within 25 metres of the Dogs' goal. Miller throws it on the boot. Tackled by Bontempelli as he did. And Bailey Williams marks and will go back and have the set shot from about 50 on about the 45-degree angle. He's a lovely kick of the footy when he's rolling, Bailey Williams. Yet to kick a goal this season. He launches it. It's to the left, and it's got the legs and through for a behind. And they can't find the big opening at the moment. 5-8-38. The Dogs are 3-3-21. The Gold Coast Suns. Athena home line scoreboard. AFL Nation for Tyre Power and McDonald's.
Powell has kicking duties. All that's there for him is into the back pocket. Barra. His problem now. Coming back across the face of goal. Initially safe to Lemons. He will kick expansively down the line. So this is an important contest. Well awaited underneath. Williams came with a flight, jarred it clear and got it out of play.
It's been good today, Williams. Looks a little bit lighter the last few weeks. Was out of the side for a few games as well. Bailey Williams, I'd have him comfortably in my best 22 for the Western Bulldogs, but for whatever reason, out of favour.
Do we feel like he's playing forward today?
Looks like he's playing a bit more wing, high half forward, yeah.
At the throw-in, Sweet wins the tap, gets it going the Dogs' way. Miller against that flow, brought down by McRae and Smith. Ball it up. 17-point margin in the Dogs' favour. Early minutes of the second term on the Makita rule the outdoors clock. Tossed up. Sweet tried to reach over the top. It's underfoot. Treloar releases it in the tackle. Still squabbling for it. Bontempelli tried to charge through. Bailey Smith a hand pass tipped away by Rowell. Treloar did end up with it. Hand pass to McRae. Got the kick up to half forward. West is closing it at a great rate. Makes the contest. Lemons dislodged underneath. McComb with a hand pass in close. High. Williams high. So he is a menace to the Suns. He's hit the scoreboard twice already. Bailey Williams will give him a look deep. Norton on the fly. Got the shoulder-to-shoulder contact from Collins to keep him out of the play. Still ended up with it, though. Hand pass to McComb to West. Over the shoulder. McRae trying to open things up. The give and go. Now the centering hand pass. Williams again. He sets it up on the breeze. Karmas with the leap. Norton arrived as well off hands. It didn't get through for a score. It'll be thrown in next to the other behind post.
Sano, Bailey Smith hasn't been off the ground yet.
Yeah, right.
He has not had one interchange for Snaffle, has yet to spend any time on the interchange.
That's incredible, isn't it? Normally in the modern footy, you see those players coming off to it, or at least twice a quarter.
All thrown in. Karmas and Chol. Weller with the spoil. In fact, it was Power with the spoil. Karmas gets the crumb. Chance for Dunkley. Another snap, and it just eludes Norton, who's in an unlikely position. It goes through for another behind.
Well, when was the last time we saw the ball in the Suns front half?
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. They just can't seem to penetrate that last line of the Western Bulldogs defence.
Rory Thompson's been favouring a left knee for about the last 4 or 5 minutes since that failed rush behind attempt, so we'll keep an eye on him.
Suns get it outside the area with a long kick for Swallow. Daniel did enough to jar it clear and force another ball in. They can't get it beyond halfway at the moment. As Thompson heads down to the bench. Keep an eye on him for Snaffle. Bite-sized payments win. Centre wing, broadcast side. Dogs by 18. Thrown in. Cordy to Liberatore. Stolen by Rao. Dumped off it by Bailey Williams, who's in everything suddenly. And he wins holding the ball. He's the hot player. He's running hot for Ream. He's going to go a long way backwards. Through the back flank. Mark taken by Gardner. Out the far side to Dale. He didn't find him cleanly. Confronted by Rankin. Absorbed the tackle and over the boundary for a throw-in. So that didn't work at all for the Dogs.
Both sides today, any time they've tried to go laterally, the opposition's picked it off or got the ball out of bounds. Both sides look so much better when they can access corridor and get some overlap run and carry. This chipping the ball backwards and sideways is not working.
Brenton Sanderson for buymystock.com.au, our expert today. Cordy gets the better of the boundary throw and Williams wraps up Rowell, who stands up in the tackle, can't get rid of the footy. And we'll have a ball up. And fingers crossed for Rory Thompson, who's gone down into the rooms. Around the body goes Swallow. Gets good purchase on that. Inside forward 50. Chance now. Couple of Suns. Ainsworth top of the square. Runs away from goal. Around the body he goes. He knew what he was doing. And he pops it through and gets him a badly needed goal. 4-3 at 27. The Suns 5-9 39. The Western Bulldogs will make that a host plus. That's a plus goal of the game.
Well, much needed from the Suns. Scored from stoppage. Just ball got out the back of the contest and Ainsworth there just danced around. Western Bulldogs couldn't lay a finger on him. He's a good player. He's really sharp around contest and he's a sharpshooter as well. Beautiful right foot snap. But yeah, one of the few times we've seen the Gold Coast Suns in their forward line this quarter and they score back to 12 points. But all the play's been with the Western Bulldogs in this second quarter.
5-9 to 4-3. Athena Home Loans scoreboard. Pay down your home loan faster with Athena Home Loans.
Just one play you haven't mentioned much today. Rowell, only the 2 possessions for safety, still sheds. Quiet.
Up she goes in the middle. Sweet. Clean to McRae. Out the front. The Dogs with a great entry. Norton the fly. Playing Crummer as West. Just missed the hand pass to McNeil. Still got the shot away, but he was under all manner of pressure. And the moment passes as it floats out on the full.
Gee, the gather from Riley West was top shelf.
You don't want them getting out the front of the centre bounce too often. So the Suns take their time out of the defensive area. Ballard, long kick to the half-back flank. The Dogs are well set, though, and Richards has been excellent in the air. He slips the hand pass to Dunkley. Couldn't get the hook on the kick he was looking for, but Bontempelli got over the top of Ballard, and he takes a Hang My TV hanger of the day. hangmytv.com.au. The Bont to think his way through this left forward pocket. He'll start outside the boundary. Bontempelli opens the angle and hooks for behind. His second behind. They lead by 13.
He probably had more space then. He could roll out a little bit further than what he did. He didn't look 100% comfortable over that kick option, Bontempelli, but he's another threat forward for them.
1-5 for the term now for the Dogs. They've dominated territory. Farah from the back pocket, he received the kick in, and that's a lovely kick to Chol. He was the only one who had any chance to mark the footy. So as good was the kick he did. Wing position, member side of the ground, up towards half forward to that rangy left foot of his. Pack fly, big spoil from Gardner, decisive in the end. Out of bounds. We'll have a throw in about 80 out from the Suns' goal. 5-10-40 the Dogs, 4-3-27 the Suns. 15 minutes into the second quarter on the Makita Rule the outdoors clock. All the numbers on the Athena home loans. Pay down your home loan faster with Athena home loans. It looks like the sub's going to be activated. Thompson won't be coming back by the looks of things. Witts handballs into space. Rankin had a little look at it, and in his attempts to run onto the footy, he was hunted down by a few Dogs, and he, with the ball, goes out of bounds. Markov will come on for the Gold Coast Suns. He's getting his preparations done, ready to join the fray.
Left half forward for Gold Coast, thrown in. Bailey Smith rode the tap and kicked it. Well, it was smothered, so it's called to play on. McRae released. Smith, who kept in the play. Liberatore back to Smith, breaking the lines. Hand passed up to West. He's got the one more over the top. He uses McNeil, who fluffed the kick, although it might work. Cordy's there. Can he slap it back Wayne Harm style? He can. Standing Norton confronted. Hand passes it around to Bontempelli. The numbers all got back, and they avert the danger, and I imagine Wynn holding the ball. Farah comes up with it. Or they looked shot to bits.
They did. He's playing well, this bloke. He's best game I've seen Farah play. Oh, he goes short to Lemons, who tries to run through the West tackle, and he can't do it. And Riley West, who's worked hard when he's been around the footy this game so far, particularly this quarter, gets a well-earned free kick. So he'll go back, and he should have the shot from about 30 out on about a 50, 55 degree angle. Worse than 45, but got a lot of goal face to present. He hasn't kicked a goal this year. Hasn't limited opportunities in this team. Needs to make the most of them. In he comes, and he makes the most of that.
Oh, touched the post.
Just clipped the post on the way through. Was it shape left to right? It looked a good strike. In the end, it hit the post. 5-11-41 the Dogs. 4-3-27 the Suns. Athena home loan scoreboard.
Well, Sean Lemons will be well pleased with that. He gets it away more quickly this time after marking the kick in. Long down the wing, punched away. Karmas leads the chase for the footy. Hand passes in close confines. Scott muscled over the boundary by Holman. Richards comes in to remonstrate. It's a bit of push and shove. Umpire blows the whistle and gets them to disperse. Dogs by 14, thrown in. Broadcast wing. Witts puts the fist into it too firmly, back out of play. Scores level in Geelong, 26 apiece. Geelong 3-8, Port Adelaide 4-2 around the grounds for Kangan Institute, 13 TAFE. Second boundary throw in for Snaffle. Bite-sized payments win. Sweet tapped it down. Bontempelli dropped it when he was going to be herring away. Powell as a result. Able to release Rankin, who kicked it out on the full. He was off balance. Couldn't get any shape on the kick, so a clanger. Who covers clangers? Amy does. The Suns give the ball back. They've been really inside 50 in this term. McRae gives ground to Richards. Richards places the kick too strongly. It burst through the hands of Keith. So here's the Suns' chance. Ainsworth to Fiorini. 52 out. He set it to the goal front. Almost perfect. Jeffrey with the flight couldn't quite hang on. Oh, he got it back and kicked it over his head. Joel Jeffrey's dead set. Kicked the goal over his head in the goal square. It's his third, and it's the signature moment early in his career. Good grief.
That was incredible. The ball, well, first of all, he should have got a free kick over his shoulder. Yeah. And then he's just picked the pocket there of the Western Bulldogs. They had all the time in the world and the Dogs to clear that. Geez, wasn't that a good second effort, though, to bounce up after the aerial contest and like a soccer scissor kick over his head.
Luke Beveridge will be asking why the handball, I think, here from Tim O'Brien. Like, it's just crazy stuff.
Yeah, he had the time and space. There was 3v1 and Jeffrey was almost still laying down on the grass, but he bounced up and did, fantastic,
He'd kicked 2 career goals coming here. He's got 3 in the first half, and he's got a replay for Easy Debit. Join Easy Debit today. That'll last a few years.
That's magnificent stuff. The bounce was poor back in the middle, and somehow the Gold Coast Suns are back within 8. Dogs have dominated this quarter, but errant kicking and a bit of magnificence from Jeffrey's got them back within just over a kick. Liberatore to Treloar out of the middle again. They go. Bontempelli into the path of Smith, but Farah, who's been terrific, wins that one-on-one around the body, thumps it out of defensive 50. 2v1. Holman brings it to ground. He was the outnumber. Liberatore the crumb. He can't do anything with it. And we'll have a ball up inside the centre square, outer side of the ground, wing position. Up she goes. Witts almost throws it down in the end. Miller the quick kick, not the required. Bailey Williams, who's had a huge quarter as a Harley Davidson, just rumbles past Mars Stadium here. We'll have a boundary. Another ball up, I beg your pardon, as Markov was the last one up with a footy. Witts, Ellis, up towards half forward. Rose has been quiet. Handball at ground level. Coming out is Casbolt. Breaks the tackle. Sweeping handball. Intercepted by Williams again. He broke the first tackle. Ran into the second. All the umpire gave him some latitude then. And they hack it out of defence. It's Gardner up towards Karmas. Ground level Ballard. The bounce was unfriendly. You got a second look at it. Collins has had a tough day. Down the line he goes. He finds his man Anderson.
Anderson wants to get things moving quickly and set the Suns inside the 50. Big pack of players. Rankin took an unlikely leap in the middle of it. It's out of play. I would like to see that replay again, as that was clearly holding the ball. So once he got through the first tackle, his obligation is to legally dispose of it immediately, which he didn't, and then he seemed to drop the ball. Holding the ball's a bloody good rule. Just blow the damn whistle. Witts gets to the front. Sweet wraps him up. It'll be balled up 40 out from the Gold Coast goal.
We're calling a lot of stoppages now because both teams are sending forwards up. This is a strength for both teams, clearance and contest. And because the Bulldogs are on top, Suns are sending up forwards and Dogs are matching it.
Who can win it at the source? Bailey Smith committed himself. Hand pass to McRae in the tackle of Rankin off to Liberatore. Kick smothered by Holman. So the Suns won't let it out easily.
Yeah, we're going to get a lot of these. We're going to get a lot of stoppages now. Both sides looking to congest the contest.
Rowell's waiting his turn over on the other side of the ground on the bench for Snaffle. By now, with bite-sized payments, huge win. Can they draw within a kick, the Suns? Rankin roves the tap. Bontempelli wrapped him up the moment he took possession. They'll be balled up. So played in close confines. Tap came the way of McRae. Shoveled the hand pass to Treloar. High on the way out. Still has to be one underfoot. Daniel was dragged off it. Bontempelli gathered. Hand pass to McRae, about to be run down. It was a push instead of a tackle, so it was silly play by his pursuer. I think it was Rosas, and he has given away a free kick, which was needless. McRae, careful with his kick out wide to Daniel. So Caleb Daniel, left half back against the boundary for the Dogs. He's doing a bit of signalling. He will kick inboards. Bontempelli marks near the logo. The Dogs try to switch the angle to Richards. Now there's a whistle down at full forward. And the Dogs are going to end up with Macomb inside the 50.
It was holding off the ball. Jared might have been preventing him from leading.
So Robbie Macomb, a few deep breaths from outside 50. He checks the kick into the pocket. He's done it well as McNeil got behind the defenders to take the mark.
Do you think he meant that, Jared?
I do.
You think that was a set play? Yeah.
I reckon he changed his kick on the way.
Well, he bypassed the Gold Coast ruckman, then Witts was back on the goal line waiting for the shot for goal and just checked his kick late to the pocket.
McNeil has 1 goal, 1 to his name. Close in with an angle to deal with. McNeil jabs it right through. His second. The Dogs back to 14-point leaders. Athena Home Loans scoreboard 6-11-47. Plays Gold Coast 5-3-33.
Yeah, the Bulldogs needed that because they've dominated this quarter statistically for safety steel sheds. They've had everything and just kicked the ball to the pocket there and just allowed where all the Gold Coast defenders were lined up expecting him to have a shot for goal, and they really messed that up. But yeah, Gold Coast Suns really need to respond here in the centre bounce because they're starting to get touched up around contest and clearance. The two metrics which they really pride themselves on in 2022, Bulldogs are on top in that area.
Bailey Smith still yet to have an interchange.
Yeah, he's had a good game. He's playing that sort of high half-forward wing role. He's coming up to stoppage.
100% of game time for the man who's had more football than anyone else for safety steel sheds in this one. Swallow sharks it from the restart. Inside forward 50, Casbolt full-chested, couldn't take the mark. Ainsworth, a lovely step around the body, tumbles it through for a goal. That was in the twinkling of an eye. He's got 2, and they answer immediately, and that was immediate. Took about 15 seconds to respond. Magnificent goal.
Yeah, centre bounce goals are critical, and we called it. They needed it. Clean break out of the centre square, and I really like this player. He's got a touch of class about him. Second goal for the quarter. Doesn't need much time and space. It's a really nice player. And Swallow's having a good game too for the Gold Coast Suns. He's had some really important inside 50s and just the sidestep by Ainsworth to give himself the right foot 45-metre kick. And yeah, he's having a good game. He's had a variety of opponents today, but 2 goals. It just won't go away, the Gold Coast Suns. This is that grind that I was talking about, the arresting momentum, that ability to be able to find a score from a rare inside 50.
AFL Nation for Tyre Power and for McDonald's. Bounce back in the middle. Witts took it cleanly out. Threw it onto the boot. Took a little bit of territory, and Ainsworth is there again. He's still well inside the centre square. Has a look at the deep options. Goes to the lead of Casbolt. He's played it wide, though. Casbolt right against the boundary. Clever little hand pass. Jeffries in everything. Sets it up in the Chol direction. Can he get a leap at it? Plenty of defenders against. Almost Swallow. He ends up swallowing up Cleary underneath. It's a mad scramble for the ball at the top of the square. It'll be balled up.
You almost marked that, Annie, didn't you?
He did, and then Cleary and Bontempelli both trapped that in together.
4.25 minutes left in the term. Witts won the tap. McRae with the squeezing kick out of the defensive area. West ripped to ground by Lemons.
Yeah, dangerous tackle.
Yeah.
Pinned his arms and took him to ground.
So West gets the free kick in the defensive area. Takes off. Looking for a target on the wing. He hasn't got one. Ballard leads Karmas up to the footy and takes the intercept mark. So Charlie Ballard up at halfway. Suns looking to string a couple together. High ball back inside the 50. Milling pack. Cordy flew, no mark. Witts a hand pass, charge down. Cordy had a fresh go. Released it to Treloar. Then to Cleary and on to Bailey Dale, who cleared the area. It's a free kick to McNeil as he led up and might have had the arms chopped.
6-11 plays 6-3. Dogs by 8. Suns won't go away. It's 3-2 for the term. Gold Coast way. Karmas finding it a bit more difficult today. Can't mark. Fiorini, good hands to mark off. The sub's been activated. Thompson off the ground with a knee injury. Rao charges through the middle, drives him inside forward 50. Jeffrey 1v3, brings it to ground. The Crummers.
Well done,
Casboldy crashes through McComb. That rattled his bones. Swallow gets her from Ellis. Lovely kick. Ainsworth runs into space, gets it to Powell. Around the body he goes. High ball right to the line. It's a point. So they're charging late here, the Gold Coast Suns. 6-4-40, 6-11-47. Athena Home Loan scoreboard.
Not sure why Ainsworth played on then. Andy probably should have just gone back and had the shot. Sort of 40 metres from goal, yeah. Just momentum took him towards the goal, I guess.
And Powell was never a chance of being able to do anything other than go around the corner. The kick-in has resulted in a throw-in at right half forward for the Suns. So sustained pressure being applied by the visitors. Witts worked it down to the front. Fiorini has a go. He's able to release a hand pass, but not really to advantage. McRae in close to Williams. His kick is smothered by Witts, and it's out of bounds again. 2 1/4 minutes left on the Makita Rule the Outdoors clock. Bulldogs by 7. At Geelong, it's Port Adelaide by 7. 5-3 to 3-8. Dying stages of the second term there as well. Witts taps it into a good position for Fiorini, releases Anderson, breaks into the 50, centering ball. Chol was up, no mark. Jeffrey trying to spin through, released it in the tackle. Ainsworth's got it again, hooks it around the corner and across the face. It landed near the goal square and broke. What's he got? 2 goals, 1. He looks likely. It's a straight kick, the difference.
Daniel surveying what's in store. 6-11 plays 6-5. Dying stages, second quarter. Outer side of the ground he goes. Low ball. They found it hard to get it out of here in the last couple of minutes, and it's coming back in the Gold Coast Suns. Witt's toe pokes it. Richards had the sit on Ainsworth, got the spoil. Bailey Smith keeps it in play. I'm not sure he was completely committed to that, and in the end he hacks it out of bounds on the full.
You should have just taken that out of bounds then.
Yeah,
just
that's right.
The throw in.
Yep.
Sometimes the players get a little bit of a rush of blood, trying to get that extra possession.
So good sustained pressure here from the Suns late in this second quarter. Ainsworth's been in everything in the second half of the second term. A couple alongside his name. He looks to hoist it high now. Let the markers fly. Top of the square. Chol up in front. No one can mark. Jeffrey had a little sniff of it at ground level. West, lovely handball to Treloar. Thumps it out of defensive 50, but it's going to come back again. It's in the middle of Mars. Ballard marks. Gets it to Powell. They turn the Dogs' defence around again. Driving ball. Casbold comes at it. Runs underneath it. No. Crummers out the back. Gardner to McRae. Underground handball. Free kick. I think as Gardner might have been taken high after he got rid of the handball, and he was, and he does. So he gets the free kick, back pocket, outer side. In fact, it's going to go downfield is the way the umpire deems it, and Bailey Smith will be the recipient of the free kick.
I'd like them just to tidy up that discipline. They have given away 3 or 4 unnecessary free kicks when they have been mounting this charge. Long kick on the way out. Suns are well represented at the 4. Weller's kick, though, was smothered. Treloar and McRae trying to create. Treloar kicks around the corner, up to the wing. Ballard, he had a dive at the footy. He dropped the mark, so Collins has got a responsibility, and he did it well. To Lemons, who is then able to release the play for the Suns to pump it in deep. Flying to the pack is Chol. The Dogs have all their numbers folded back. Richards worked it away to O'Brien. Back to Richards. He's in a tight spot. Creative hand pass to Cordy and then to Treloar, who finds the way out to Dunkley. It was high-risk stuff. Can the Dogs mount an attack right at the end from it? Out to Daniel. He kicks with force down the line. West gathers the footy. Sets it up to the 50. Karmas right on the siren. And the Dogs will get the last look of the half.
Yeah, you're right, Jared. They're able just to squeeze the ball out of that D50 with some pretty bold ball movement and some critical 1v1 contest wins as well. Riley West has been good this quarter too. Genuine midfielder who's getting a go as a small pressure forward, and sometimes you just got to scrap and fight for for your role in the side. He's been really impactful as that small forward today.
I imagine this is right on the extremes of what Buku Kamas would be capable of. And Witt's down on the goal line. Could very well be in play. I think Casbolt's gone down there as well. Buku Kamas gives it the lot. He made great contact. And it is fading right at the end across the face. He got it there, but it was a behind. The Dogs by 7. 6-12 to 6-5. They led by 8 at quarter time. So there was a lot that poured into that term. Norton's kicked 3, McNeil 2, Williams 1. Jeffrey 3, Ainsworth 2, and Farah 1. The Athena Home Loans scoreboard. Dogs by 7. Port Adelaide by a point over Geelong at half-time around the grounds for Kangan Institute. 13 TAFE. We'll let Brenton Sanderson put his thoughts in order and tell you all about the first half at Mars in Ballarat, where the Dogs lead it by 7. AFL Nation for Icon Services, solutions that matter.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for McDonald's. Order via the My Macca's app and start earning today.
G'day, Rusty here for Bendix Ultimate Plus brake pads. Their advanced ceramic formulation means greater stopping power, and the high friction formulation means low dust generation, keeping wheels cleaner longer, low braking noise and greater resistance to brake fade at higher temperatures. And what good are pads without brake rotors? Bendix Ultimate rotors are the latest in braking technology and manufacturing, the perfect complement to Bendix brake pads. Bendix, put your foot down with confidence.
We buy stock that you can't move. BuyMyStock.com.au.
If your business has stock that you just can't move, you need BuyMyStock.com.au. They're stock clearing experts and can turn your unwanted stock into cash. Big or small, they'll clear it all. Make your unwanted stock problems go away. Visit BuyMyStock.com.au today. BuyMyStock.com.au.
We buy stock that you can't move. BuyMyStock.com.au.
Daikin is the world's #1 in air conditioning, and Climate is one of Australia's biggest Daikin dealers. So keep warm this winter, choose an energy-efficient Daikin ducted or high-wall split system and save on your electricity bill. And with Wi-Fi zoning control, you'll have total temperature control for every room. Plus, every Daikin ducted system comes with a free Daikin room air purifier. Get in touch with your local Climate store now. Visit climate.com.au.
Introducing the Drive Car of the Year, the all-new Kia Sportage. Awarded for its new turbo engine that gives you progressive performance. The Kia Sportage has a boldly sculpted sportsback design and soft touch leather interior, making it a natural leader. Kia Sportage, the Drive Car of the Year. To find out more, visit kia.com.au or visit your nearest Kia dealer.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Booked a holiday? Visiting friends interstate? Melbourne Airport is happy to be welcoming travellers back. Nothing beats the convenience, flexibility and great value when you park at Melbourne Airport. From just $12 a day, the Value Car Park offers exceptional value. And only a few minutes walk to check-in, Melbourne Airport's Terminal Car Park offers absolute convenience. Park with ease and peace of mind with Melbourne Airport. Book online today and save at melbourneairport.com.au.
You adapt to the changes in your life, so why shouldn't your home? At Duncan Thompson Home Extension will make it happen.
Duncan Thompson Extensions takes care of everything from the design to the permits to the build. And they're a family business that's been extending homes for over 40 years, so they know what's most important. From concept to completion, they'll plan, design and extend your slice of the world outwards or upwards. It's good to be home.
DuncanThompson.com.au.
Respect is calling out your mate's sexist jokes.
Respect is equal pay, on and off the field.
Respect is championing equality in sport. Respect is working together to prevent violence against women.
When all women are respected, everyone wins.
Respect women. Call it out. Search Respect Victoria to learn more.
A message from Respect Victoria and the Victorian Government.
The D's are kicking goals on and off the field. They've already broken their all-time membership record and are closing in on 60,000 members for the first time in club history. If you're a D's fan, you can help them reach this milestone. Grab yourself a 6-game membership for just $66 and you'll be counted in the official membership tally. Let's unite for 2022 and show the Demon spirit. Join the Legion today. Head to membership.melbournefc.com.au.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
He's got it off the pack and he fumbled it through for a goal. His third, and he does look quite unstoppable.
Inside forward 50. Chance now. Couple of Suns. Ainsworth top of the square. Runs away from goal. Around the body he goes. He knew what he was doing. And he pops it through and gets him a badly needed goal.
He set it to the goal front. Almost perfect. Jeffrey with the flight couldn't quite hang on. Well, he got it back and kicked it over his head. Joel Jeffrey's dead set. Kicked the goal over his head in the goal square.
Maccas, I'm loving it moments. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today.
The Bulldogs by 7 points at half-time, 6-12-48. Gold Coast 6-5-41. I'm loving it moments for Macca's $6 small McChicken meal and cheeseburger on the My Maccas app. Let's dip into the half-time floor show thanks to Choices Flooring.
The Choices Flooring half-time floor show. Check out Choices Flooring's Room View program.
Brendan Sanderson, what are your overriding thoughts?
Well, I love the Dogs in the first sort of 15, 20-minute marks of that quarter. They got on top with contested possessions, plus 11 clearances. They started to dominate. But what impressed me about the Gold Coast Suns is typically you would have seen them just give away some of those contest moments, but their resting momentum in games was something that they've been challenged on. Their ability to prevent the opposition scoring in big moments. And Aaron Norton, he had 3 goals at about the 15-second mark of the second quarter, but Rory Thompson went off and we thought this could really blow out. But to their credit, the Dogs, to the credit of the Gold Coast Suns team, they fought on then. They actually lead the inside 50 count. They're not very effective when they go in, but they're able to lock the ball in that front half for a fair chunk of that second quarter, which was fantastic. They're struggling a little bit with their back half ball movement. They're not able to get any clean corridor ball movement out of there. They've been forced wide and slow. But, yeah, their front half stuff looks okay today. Ben Ainsworth looks really damaging when he gets his hands on the footy. And young Jeffrey, the Gold Coast Suns small forward, he's kicked 3 goals and looks really good. But as soon as the Dogs got on top there around clearance and contest, the Suns started to congest it by sending up extra forwards, and it got a little bit messy there at times. But for the Dogs, the usual suspects, Smith's having a really good game. I like McRae. He's working from contest to contest. Treloar's had his moments in his 200th game. And Andy's been singing the praises of Bailey Williams today too. He's been really hard and he's been ruthless around the contest as well. Had some really good moments in the front half. But it's a bit of an arm wrestle. The game could go either way. Western Bulldogs look like they're the better side at the moment, but yeah, the thing that impresses me is the Gold Coast Suns team there just hung on. Just the ability not to let the game get away from them. They were quite hard in the contest there, and their hunt and spread was something to be impressed with. And yeah, the first 5 or so minutes, 10 minutes of this second half is going to really show us what this young Gold Coast Suns team is made of.
So if we teased out a few of those numbers for safety steel sheds designed to save, built to last, the clearances, the Dogs 23-17, the centre clearance is 7-5, and the stoppage clearance is 16-12. Contested possession, they lead 72-61. I think the biggest number on the page, Sando, is 22 inside 50s for 21 shots the Dogs have had.
Yeah, that's right. They're scoring at 90% per inside 50. They've just got to try and find ways to get it in there. I mean, they did lock it in there in that first sort of 10-15 minutes of that second quarter. Had a lot of forward 50 throw-ins and ball-ups, and the Suns just couldn't get it out. And when they did, they were forced wide. But they can get some more inside 50s. Norton's already had the 5 shots for goal. They did pretty well then to hang on, especially when Thompson went off the ground. And Andy called it a few times. Collins looks all at sea when he's against Norton one-on-one, but it's going to be a big second half for this Gold Coast Suns side. They've done really well to hang on, to be honest.
Norton was the player who was running hot for Ream. Ask your plumber to install a Ream steady, hot and strong. Have you got the player rankings there for
heaps of
Red Energy? Moving house, call local energy retailer Red Energy.
Heaps of players have had a good stats day from a fantasy perspective. Farrer is leading all comers with 74 rankings points at half-time. Norton 69, McNeil 63, Bailey Smith 62. Still yet to have an interchange. Has been out on the ground for every second of the game time. So he's had a quarter-time break and a half-time break. Other than that, he's been on the ground the whole time. Bonapelli, Lemons, Daniel Ainsworth, McRae and Bailey Williams are the other players over the half-century mark at half-time.
Hanger of the day, hangmytv.com.au, because that's what they do. A couple of Norton grabs, which...
Norton grab in the first quarter. Bontempelli's...
Yeah, the one in the pocket.
His pocket, in the second quarter there was good too.
Who's the player of the day thus far? Thanks to Henley Homes, Stage 4 home and land packages now selling at the Dales, Bonnybrook, henley.com.au.
Oh, it's tough. I think I really like Bailey Smith. He's had 20 possessions for Safety Steel Sheds, 2 at half-time. I've liked Jeffrey as well. His 3 goals have been really impactful. So like McRae, it's a tough one. It's pretty open at this stage. And, of course, Norton, his impact on the game's been excellent as well, Joe.
The injury update for Safety HQ, safetyhq.com.au. Get new work gear now. So Rory Thompson is the bit of a sick story here.
Yeah, the left knee, he tried to play through it for about 5 minutes by the looks of things, but had to concede in the end, and he's been replaced by Lee Markov, who's on the ground for him now and has been activated. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for Rory Thompson, obviously.
Unmissable moments for Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise. If you're going to kick a goal over your head, Joel Jeffrey's probably going to win that category.
Fantastic.
I can't remember the last player I've seen do it quite like that. Made no effort to whiz around or kick it around the corner. Just calculatedly put the ball into the boot and kicked it straight over his head.
Back
you would
to
see
the
in the
goal.
schoolyard.
100%.
Amazing. For Drinkwise, choose to Drinkwise. MEGT Rookie of the Day. MEGT, your local apprenticeship experts. Call 13MEGT today.
Well, Luke Cleary or Robbie McComb, I think they're probably the two. I've liked both of them at different times today, both playing across half forward for the Western Bulldogs. They've both had good halves of footy.
MEGT, your local apprenticeship experts. Around the grounds for Kangan Institute. Our heroes are made at Kangan Institute, kangan.edu.au. RTO 3077.
Port Adelaide 5-3-33. Lead the Cats by a point, Jared, down there at Kidinia Park. 4-8-32 Geelong. So they've been wayward in front of the goal, the home side, but it's a tight one down there.
Coach of the day for TC Boxes. Home for trays, canopies and toolboxes.
Yeah, Bevo coaching from the bench today, and Stewie Dew up in the box. It's been Beveridge, obviously, his ability to be able to get on top around contested ball and clearance, and Stewie Dew's just matching that. It's like a game of chess. Every time the Dogs seem to get on top around clearances, Stewie Dew will send up a forward. It does play into the Bulldogs' hands, though. They do drop off a Caleb Daniel or a Bailey Dale to set up as that extra defender, but pretty even at this stage.
We'll be taking your calls across the weekend on the Kogan Open Line. Make the call. Switch to Kogan Mobile from $2.90 for 30 days with a big 20 gig of data. Halftime in Ballarat. It's the Dogs by 7. 6-12-48, leading the Gold Coast Suns 6-5-41. That is the halftime floor show thanks to Choices Flooring. See your floor change in an instant with RoomView. AFL Nation for Icon Services. Solutions that matter.
A sports news update for Rolled. Eat good with Rolled. It's fast, fresh Vietnamese.
I'm Victoria Raptis with your sports update for Rolled. In AFL, Charlie Curnow's 6-goal haul helped Carlton to a 15-point win over Sydney. Carlton survived a huge fight back to strengthen their grip on an AFL top 4 spot. Coach Michael Voss spoke post-match.
The more footy we can play with one another, the more we can keep reinforcing about what we do, then the stronger we'll become in those moments.
In the Super Rugby, the Queensland Reds overcame Moana Pacifica 34-22, and the Crusaders scored a 58-point win over Fijian Drua. In NRL, the West Tigers overcame the Bulldogs 36-22, And the Eels downed the Sea Eagles in a close match, 22-20. Superstar Tom Trbojevic could miss at least 3 months awaiting the results of scans after dislocating his shoulder in last night's match.
A sports news update for Rolled. Fast, fresh Vietnamese. You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
We buy stock that you can't move. BuyMyStock.com.au.
If your business has stock that you just can't move, you need BuyMyStock.com.au. They're stock clearing experts and can turn your unwanted stock into cash. Big or small, they'll clear it all. Make your unwanted stock problems go away. Visit BuyMyStock.com.au today. BuyMyStock.com.au.
We buy stock that you can't move. BuyMyStock.com.au.
Every group of mates has one. The bloke who avoids his shout.
Oh, I left my wallet in the car.
Mate, use your phone.
Oh, it's gone flat, mate. Can you cover me?
With a Signet power bank, there's no more running out of charge when you or your mates need it most.
Take my Signet power bank, mate. Charge up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll get this round and the next. I owe you one.
Aussie owned, Aussie designed. Power your life with a Signet power bank. Signet.com.
My Macca's Rewards has arrived. Earn points with every Macca's run to redeem on more of your favourites, your mates' usuals, or family go-tos. Download the My Macca's app and start earning today. Value means more at Macca's. T's and C's apply. See our website for details.
Which oil keeps your business moving? Farmers and fleet managers, they know. Construction crews and car mechanics, they know. And you know. Valvoline, the original engine oil.
Be warm at home with Harvey Norman. Get snug with Sunbeam Sleep Perfect antibacterial Queen Electric Blanket, only $199. Stay cozy with a Neuro 2400-watt Spot Plus electric panel heater, $479. Warm up with Breville, the Air Rounder Plus Connect heater, fan and purifier, $399. Stay warm with a Fujitsu reverse cycle air conditioner and get up to $200 in digital prepaid MasterCards. Offer via redemption. Be warm at home with Harvey Norman.
If you love working outside and the idea of being your own boss excites you, then you may want to listen up. 1300 Temp Fence are looking for subcontractors now. As a 1300 Temp Fence subcontractor, you'll have access to uncapped earning potential and the opportunity to be involved in delivering some of our nation's largest events and major infrastructure projects. To find out more about this unmissable opportunity, apply now at 1300tempfence.com.au.
Proud sponsor of Picks Flicks on Off the Bench, make your pick Chadstone Kia, the home of new and quality used cars. With expert service plus finance options, Gavin and the entire Chadstone Kia team are just so easy to deal with. On display now are recent Car of the Year winners, including the popular Kia Sportage. Family owned and ready to help you into your new Kia. Book ahead and pre-order today to avoid disappointment. Go to chadstonkia.com.au, LMCT 11716.
For kids to play their best game and mum or dad to give their best support, you need the right fuel. Like a stack of pancakes before or after Saturday's game. Sign the kids' sports team up for a feast with Pancake Parlour's Club Rewards. The club earns a point for every dollar spent and even receives a $1,000 sponsorship pack just for signing up. Visit pancakeparlour.com.au and click on the Rewards tab. Pancake Parlour's Club Rewards. Lovely.
JH Market is your one-stop shop for all your lighting and electrical needs. Sparkies will find the cheapest trade prices guaranteed, like double GPOs for only $2.69 each. Make the switch to JH Market. Call 1300 000 808 or visit jh.market today.
If you're craving a combo, head into Coles Express and grab a delicious Coles Express hot pie with no added hormone beef, plus a selected Coca-Cola drink variety for just $6. Craving a combo? Express yourself at Coles Express. Product and store availability varies. Offer ends June 1.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Store-wide super sale now on, Andy Marr.
How much of this game goes through Aaron Norton, Sam Collins back on him with Rory Thompson off the ground now, had a little go at him in that second quarter before the knee went. Let's see how this one plays out. Liberatore got hands on the first ball up, couldn't do anything with it. Ellis runs onto the second one. Markov there with him, gets the footy at ground level, handballs it down the line into a bit of space. Holman had to come out, it wrapped up by Dale. And that wasn't coming out. We're back where we started, almost just outside the centre circles. Ball thrown up now, Witts and Sweet. West at the bottom of the pack. Again, not coming out.
What are all the numbers around here, Andy? Look at it's
crazy, isn't it?
There's 15, 16 players around this contest, maybe more.
It's Bailey Dale at the bottom of that pack. Swallow tries to hack it out, as does Miller. There's a holding call, and it's going to go to Toot Miller. So the Suns will get the first forward 50 entry, you'd think. Miller has been busy again. He drives it long and strong. They've got some marking targets. Casbolt, one of those, was a good spoil by Gardner. In fact, it was Keith with the big committed leap at the footy, and he thumped it out of bounds. 35-40 out from the Gold Coast Suns goal. 6-12 plays 6-5 here at Mars Stadium. Beautiful conditions. All tossed in. Witts gets to front position. Bailey Smith gets a look at it. Runs onto it. Left foot around the body he goes. Collins comes at it. In front of Norton. Affected the spoil. Norton. Ellis picks it up. Dispossessed straight away by Bonampelli. The tackle lingered after the ball was jarred free. Pretty good umpiring that, I reckon. Ellis gets the free kick and has a bit of a giggle.
He does. He's signalling his intention to get it deep. I don't know whether that ball is working. They have another go at it. Rankin might have been the target that time, but Dale knocks it away. So it's inside the Suns' 50 at the throw-in. Still the Dogs by 7. Witts and Sweet form up. Tossed into play. Witts stands his ground in front, palms it down, but there's nobody there. McRae is in the clutches of his opposite number 11, Toot Miller.
Pretty even contest in the ruck too. Witts v Sweet. 23 hitouts for Witts, 19 for Sweet for safety still sheds.
The ball up underfoot. Bailey Smith gets hold of it off to Cleary. In the tackle, he wedged to kick away and it fell for Bontempelli to mark. The Dogs at left half back. See what they can create. Bontempelli gets motoring around the boundary. He got a good shepherd, then slipped over when he went to bounce it and lost it. Anderson lobs it back inside. It's going to land near the pocket and trickle out of play.
Don't see Bonampelli lose his bearings like that very often, do you?
Well, he went to have a bounce. He did all the hard work, got the good block from McRae and then just slipped over.
Yeah, the bounce in the shadows got away from him, and then he saw Anderson coming at him, and it was too hard to retrieve. So the Suns back inside forward 50. Holman. Liberatore gets it on the second bite. Forces the handball out towards McRae. It was hot. Too hot for him, and out of bounds it goes. So real stalemate here to start the third quarter. AFL Nation for Tyre Power and McDonald's. No addition to the halftime score. All the numbers will be on the Victoria Police assistance line scoreboard. Sweet reaches over. Miller the crumb. Wrapped up. Dispossessed. Couldn't get rid of the football cleanly, said the umpire. And Jordan Sweet wins the free kick. The big ruckman has to go over his mark. After a bit of a tangle with Miller, he knew exactly what he was doing. Holding up play. Sweet looks inboard. And now switches. It's a bold kick for the ruckman. Across the ground he goes, and O'Brien was the only one who had eyes on the footy. Takes the mark. Generally a pretty good kick in space. That's a lovely looking ball. Long and strong over the defence, and Bailey Williams ran into the hole out the back, and he takes the mark.
Well, that's the Western Bulldogs at their best, and they actually took a risk then with Jordan Sweet. The ruckman just rolled and went to the 1v1. Away they went.
Already got one on the board today, Williams. He's been good. He'll kick from 51. He strikes that very nicely. It's drifting right at the end, and across the face it goes. Through for another behind. It's been a problem for them in the past. In fact, there's a whistle on play here. The score won't register, and I have no idea.
Oh, no score.
What that free kick was for. It was back where Bailey Williams kicked it from, and I don't know what that was for.
What a curious moment. Fiorini kicks long down the wing. The Dogs were well represented, and Richards, who's been excellent overhead, takes another mark. He brings it inboard to Bontempelli. Didn't give it to Cleary on the flyby, and now he's committed to kicking it inside the 50. He's gone for Cordy. It bounced off his chest. Markov ran into a dead end. He might have been taken high, and he will get the free kick in the defensive goal square. So back to, what stayed at 7 points.
6-12, 6-5 as it was at half-time. Markov driving ball out of defence. Pack fly, Chol can't mark. Rankin's been quiet. They could do with a bit of him in the second half. Handballs the footy through to Jeffrey, who hasn't been quiet. Down the line, Swallow takes the mark. He's been good as well. Playing some good footy at the moment, Dave Swallow. It's good to see. Slightly altered role. Up towards half forward, Casbolt just mistimed the jump. And off hands, it goes out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
So just breaking down there a bit, Andy, with those longer kicks that land shallow inside forward 50, there's not much system with the way they're kicking the ball inside 50 from that far out today, the Suns.
Ball tossed him that 40 out from their goal. Witts in front. Liberatore, the shark, drives it around the body up to wing. Norton out the back, gathers cleanly, needed to, did well. West, the handball back to Norton, just slaps it in air to Scott on the left foot, up towards Karmas, eyes on the footy to forward, got hands on it, couldn't. Mark McComb taken high as he went to ground. Umpire said play on. Ballard's got his arm, McComb's got the footy, and the umpire says I'll have a ball up. A bit unlucky then.
Yep.
There was definitely a high tackle on the replay. You can see that clearly. Easy debit, joint easy debit today. Witts over the top of Bontempelli. McComb at ground level again. Bontempelli tries to farm it out to his own advantage. Wanted the free kick. It wasn't there. Powell on the up to Swallow. Around the body, outside defensive 50, just to Richards.
So what will Richards do? Karmas on the lead. He doubles back.
There's another one here.
There's another reversal.
Yeah, this one's against Norton in the goal square. Might have retaliated to a bit of close contact from Collins, I think.
So the Suns twice that's gifted the ball, and that kick's gone straight out of bounds on the full. This game is it's a complete stalemate. Yeah, Norton had hold of Collins' jumper as they were pushing and shoving and ended up yanking him forward. Richards lofts it up inside the 50. Karmas and Norton both in the pack, knocked down underneath. Dunkley crashed in one way. Ball fed out to McRae. Unguarded goal. It bounced and ran, and Ballard arrived in the nick of time. And the first score of the term is a rushed behind on the Victoria Police Assistance Line scoreboard. It's the Dogs by 8.
If they drop you down from another planet and you're watching your first game right now, you'd be asking, do some of these blokes, is this the first time they've ever played? Making some fundamental mistakes, some of these blokes. Powell takes the ground, drives it out of defensive 50. Big pack at the back. Keith wrapped up. Nice tackle by Jeffrey. Ball spills out the back. Ainsworth takes it over the line. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Can I tell you though, Andy, sometimes a coach can go overboard at halftime and give you too much information, and you can see the players are just filled with all this process. Sometimes you just got to say, just go out there and play.
Looks like they're
so much happening around stoppage here. It's crazy.
Brains are jumbled at the moment. Swallow wrapped up by Dunkley. Another stoppage. The wrestle's on. It's not coming out. No side has been. In fact, the Western Bulldogs have added a point. I beg your pardon. 6-13-49 to 6-5-41. Hit hard was Bontempelli. Tackle was Rowley. He's having one of those days. He couldn't get rid of it. And Sweet, who's been good for the Dogs.
Sweet has the ball near centre wing, uses it particularly short. McRae with footy in hands. He's looking everywhere, including behind him. Takes off, kicks wide up to the 50 and did it well. On the flowing lead was Scott. Karmas is the deepest target. Norton gets back to the square as well. He's waited, and a lot of players are going to be in the drop zone here. A pack of 6 or 8. Off hands, Norton threatened to haul it in. Release the hand pass. Weller off the last line, kicks it away for the Suns. It turns over. Sweet with a hand pass. Dale got under the kick. It's going to miss to the right. And it is a minor score. 9-point leaders, the Dogs. Victoria Police Assistance Line scoreboard.
That's sort of the shots they're having, though. Those snap around the corner from 45. They just can't get any rhythm or system. They're scoring so well, the Western Bulldogs, but they just can't get the easy shots today.
6-14. It's a familiar lament for Dogs supporters. Out they go again, the Gold Coast Suns. They can't find anything from here. They get it to about 70 out and then get stuck, and Ellis's kicks smothered out of bounds by Cordy, and we'll have another boundary throw in.
Both coaches just don't want to give up clearance numbers here, and that's why we're seeing so many players around these stoppage contests, and there's just so much of a dogfight in there.
Brenton Sanderson for buymystock.com.au. Bailey Smith wrapped up by Rao, got the handball away to McRae, and again the boundary line right in front of the interchange gate. Snaffle, bite-sized payments, Winswallow comes off. Anderson comes back on. Bailey Smith still yet to be interchanged out of the game. 100% of game time he's played. It's quite something for a player who occupies that position. McRae the crumb. Treloar cuts back inboard. Then just has to kick under pressure up towards half forward. Play on, there was body use. No, the umpire said there wasn't a legitimate contest in from well up. And McNeil gets the free kick. Too far out to score. He's kicked a couple today. He just pokes this to the top of the square. Asks the jumpers to jump. Dunkley takes the mark from the side of the pack. There would have been about 8 players in the contest. And Dunkley, who has got good hands, takes the mark and will go back from about 25 out on a slight angle.
It's just a schoolyard pack, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's going to snap this. This is strange. Straight in front almost.
Around the body he goes, and he coaxes it through, and the Dogs finally break the necks. A 7-14-56, the Western Bulldogs. They now lead the Gold Coast Suns 6-5-41. Dunkley kicks his first.
Well, it was on the tip of my tongue, Andy. I was going to say this tactic of just lobbing it to the top of the goal squares hasn't been working for the Western Bulldogs to start this third quarter. And then Dunkley, it's a pack of about 12 players then all flying for that. And Witts came back, Gold Coast ruckman, and Dunkley just drifted in from the side and strangely decided to snap the ball around of his body from about 15 metres out, almost directly in front. But a little bit quiet today, Josh Dunkley, to typically what he is. Only the 10 disposals for safety still sheds to this point, playing high half forward. A little bit of time in the midfield. He's in this centre bounce, but very important player for the Western Bulldogs.
It's a crucial moment for New Farm, Australian through and through. McRae wins first touch in the middle, back to Cordy. There's the free kick, I reckon. McRae pushed in the back as he was getting rid of it. So the Dogs with the centre break. Hand pass to Richards on the flyby. Sets it up, 30 out from goal. Norton flew. He went one-handed and didn't haul it in. Treloar hand passed indiscriminately. Ballard hooked it around the corner. Cleared the defensive arc. Rankin had to go. Daniel kept him off it. Gathered by Richards. Off to McRae. Dogs back inside the 50, and Treloar with the flight takes the mark.
Yeah, good kick. Just to the advantage of Treloar at the back of the Gold Coast Suns defence. He's a goal kicker, Treloar. He's been peppering the goals all day today.
They're really pressing here, aren't they, the Western Bulldogs?
Yeah, here they come. This is that arresting momentum piece of Gold Coast Suns that we talked about pre-game.
He has been desperate for a goal in his 200th game. Ran through the banner with his daughter, Georgie. Left of centre, set shot. Adam Treloar wheels out. Let's fly. Now it's through. It's a big celebration for a goal in his milestone game. And the Dogs have the game-high lead at 21 points on the back of those two majors. 8-14, 62 to 6-5-41. That is a Bendix breaks big moments. If they were on the sheet, it would be. That's all on the scoreboard for Victoria Police Assistance Line.
A little freebie, why not?
Well done, Adam Treloar. He deserves that. Like you said, Jared, a big day for him today, and I've actually had some time spent with him at Collingwood, and no one puts more pressure on themselves than Adam Treloar. He has a goal-kicking competition after every training session. He loves his goals as a midfielder, and his 200th game, well done. He's been excellent today. He's working his heart out.
Sure, he'd be delighted to follow his great mate Josh Dunkley into the goal kickers column. Dunkley and Treloar kicked the first couple of this third quarter. It's a terrible bounce. And we'll go again. Rory Thompson cuts a figure, doesn't he, on the interchange bench. Crutches assisting that left knee. Boundary, ball thrown up. Anderson toe pokes it into space. They need something. Ainsworth's been good. Comes hard at the footy. Tackled without possession by Bonampelli. Wins the free kick. Puts it into the path of Swallow, who with eyes only on the footy charged at it. Bailey Smith did contest it, but gave away the free kick in the eyes of the umpire. He argues the case. Swallow plays on. Goes to about 20 out. Could have been a free kick. Certainly playing for it was Jeffrey in the marking contest. Off hands, out of bounds it goes.
Just lacking that little bit of system, aren't they, going inside forward 50, the Suns? They're just poking it in towards Chol and Casbolt, but unable to take any marks today inside their forward 50, the Suns.
Ball thrown in about 30 out. Casbolt takes it from the ruck contest, hacks it onto the boot. It bounces right on the goal line and through from behind. 6-6-42 Gold Coast, 8-14-62 the Western Bulldogs. Victoria Police assistance line scoreboard.
Kick in finds Dunkley out the far side to Gardner. Gardner links the hand pass up to Daniel. The Dogs right against the boundary. Bailey Smith marks. He's unopposed. He measures off his kick rather than taking off on a run. And Weller made the spoil over the top to knock it out of play. Around the grounds for Kangan Institutes. 1-3 TAFE. Geelong 6-point leaders over Port Adelaide halfway through the third term. 6-9 to 6-3. Halfway mark of the third term in Ballarat. Makita rule the outdoors clock. At the throw in, Dunkley rove the tap from Sweets. Bounced it up into the pocket. And it's run out of play by Markov. Dogs closer to goal. And looking to see if they can increase the break that they have made. It stands at 20 points for now. Cordy to contest in the ruck. Casbolt on the scene. Cordy takes it cleanly. Got the kick to full forward. And running out to mark is McComb.
Yeah, took it out of the ruck there, Cordy. Sometimes those big key forwards who don't spend a lot of time in the ruck are pretty good at just holding their position in those ruck contests, and see Tom Hawkins do it a lot for Geelong. And as a forward, always play in front. Never know what's going to drop into your lap.
Robbie McComb in the teeth of goal for the Dogs, 3 in a row. They have made the decisive break in this third term. McComb joins the goal kickers. And it is a 26-point lead. 9-14-68 to Gold Coast 6-6-42. Victoria Police assistance line for non-urgent situations.
Yeah, and we spoke at half-time about the ability for the Gold Coast Suns just to withstand the early attack from the Western Bulldogs, and they've done a pretty good job, but just the last couple of minutes they've just been unable to stop a couple of goal-scoring change from the Western Bulldogs, and now it just drifts out to a margin where it becomes quite critical now for the Suns.
I've just noticed for Snaffle as well, Jai Farrer's off the ground and out of the game. He's got the tracksuit on alongside Rory Thompson, so they're down 2 defenders, and Farrer was as good as just about any player on the ground in the first half, so they are being stretched down back now, the Gold Coast Suns, and the Bulldogs are coming hard at them again. The clearance out of the middle of the ground. Treloar clean hands at half forward. Tries to find Dunkley. Weller under pressure. Handballs it to Chol at half back. Swings onto his left. Runs into trouble. Handball batted down. Finds his way to Bonampelli on the right foot. Top of the square. Ball bouncing. Oh, it's gone through. It has bounced and turned hard right to left. And another one on the board in the most unlikely circumstances from Marcus Bonampelli, and they start to career away here now, the Bulldogs. They lead by 32 points. Bonampelli gets his first.
Oh, they were out too, the Suns. They had their hands on the footy at half-back, and it was Chol who just took his time, and it was a wasted handball. He had a number of options flying by and took the wrong option. Bulldogs very good at those turnovers in that part of the ground. And Bonampelli, not sure if he was going for goal, but dribbled through. Only a couple of metres more and the ball stopped, but that's what they're good at, the Western Bulldogs. They do bring the heat, we know that. Their tackle pressure is excellent. all of a sudden now, 4 unanswered goals for the Western Bulldogs, and they're running away with it.
A goal of the game for Host Plus. That's a plus. High bounce in the middle. Anderson with first possession. Hand pass near Rowell. He's in the tackles. He got up. He went down. That's holding the ball. He can only have so long.
He's had a dirty day, hasn't he, Matt Rowell?
Treloar, as a result, takes off and he sends the Dogs directly inside the 50. Norton was outnumbered at the fly. Ballard ran into McNeil, got floored, ball went up.
Just the 4 disposals, Andy, for Rowell, for safety still sheds.
Yeah.
Something might be right. He's in the thick of the action all the time as well.
30 out from the Dogs' goal. Norton doing the ruck work. Took it, lost it. Liberatore beaten to it by Rowell, knocked off his kick. Norton will get it out the back. He flings it at goal, just didn't quite get enough on it. And a bit of goaltending from Ballard. 8 minutes to go in this third term. Suns are under siege. They're down by 32 points. Ballard long on the kick outside the defensive area. There's some shepherding. It's a Dogs free kick. That's going to go the way of Keith. And that's against Casbolt as they were forming up, and he denied the fullback a run at it. Keith gets under his kick, so back to the hot spot. Norton flew the pack. He didn't do enough to the umpire's satisfaction. I think we would have paid it. Working underneath is Liberatore. Hand passed away. Anderson trickled it across the turf. It worked to Rankin. Hand pass out the side. Will it come straight back? The kick's cleared the defensive 50. Swallows over the top of it. Treloar disputes it. Did Treloar dive on the footy? That's the assessment for the ump. He says yes. And it will be Swallows free kick at half back.
Around the grounds for Kangan Institute, 1-3 tape. It's the Cats by 2 goals. With about 6 or 7 left in the third quarter down there at Geelong. Here the Gold Coast Suns spread it wide to Lemons. He goes short to Markov. So they're going to do it with their backs against the wall now, the Suns, if they're going to come back from this 32-point deficit. Driving ball up towards the top of the square. Daniel goes in hard at ground level, has to release the footy. Brilliant by Jeffrey. He's put something together today. He gets it where there was no chance of getting out of there. Quick to boot around the body. He's kicked his 4th.
Andy, I'm shaking my head here. That was a fantastic goal, but I just don't like the way the Suns have attacked this third quarter. They're still going slow. They're still going wide, and they're dumping the ball to this sort of hot spot 15, 20 metres out from goal. No contest there from Casbolt or Chol. And without this young man, they would be in all sorts today, the Gold Coast Suns. Jeffrey with 4 goals. He actually competed that aerial contest. He was the only Gold Coast Suns player, and then he was the only player that hunted it at ground level as well. That's just a one-man show here in the forward line today. Chol, 5 possessions. Casbolt, 5 possessions as the forwards. They really have to lift. We have to get more from this Gold Coast Suns forward line. It's only Jeffrey and Ainsworth. They're probably only 2 players forward of the centre having an impact for the Suns.
Margin back to 26 points. Witts wins the tap in the middle. Anderson in a 50-50 ball with Treloar. Ball it up. It's a great replay for Easy Debit. Join Easy Debit today. Being dragged down by one arm, Jeffrey freed it up, snapped it over the shoulder. Miller trying to force the Suns forward, repelled. Liberatore, McComb, and now McRae, who's on the break. He's had a bounce. He reaches half forward. He's kicked it for Karmas in the pack. It reaches the back where Lemons is able to tidy up off the last line. He needs a target on the way out. They're at various angles. Rankin races to the loose footy at the back, but it's over the boundary. A throw in for Snaffle. Bite-sized payments win.
Yeah, Jared, I really want to see the Suns go for it now. I want to see this last 6 minutes of this third quarter take the game on, get some running carry, attack the corridor, take some risks. If you're going to win this game, you've got to take some risks.
They've got to bite back now, down by 15 in the clearances for safety. Steele sheds at the throw in. Not much doing there. Liberatore squabbles with Miller.
And McRae, 8 clearances. Liberatore, 6 clearances. Bontempelli, 5. The usual suspects around the contest.
Sweet knocked it out the side. It ricocheted off Bontempelli. McRae just won the hard ball, gave it back to Bontempelli, who lost the handle on the footy. Anderson to Ellis. Clears the defensive zone for the Suns. Off hands, it lands with Dunkley, though, so the Dogs come straight back to half forward. First, Treloar made the spoil on Anderson, and then he laid the bone-jarring tackle to earn the bounce against Markov.
Does feel like their tackle pressures increased this quarter.
Yeah, you're right.
Sando.
Yeah, definitely. They've been stronger in the contest. They've got so many numbers here around.
So Sweet taps it into the path of Smith and or Treloar. Ellis was in the middle of that. And off hands or feet, it goes out of bounds.
And definitely when Sweet gets his hands on it, he tries to flick it outside. Witts has had the majority of the hit-outs today, but when Sweet does get the hit-out, does go to advantage.
Ball tossed in. Again, Sweet reaches over. Rankin had first hands on it. Witts has to go in again and contest. Smith gets a little toe poke to it. Treloar tries to carve away through, does nicely. McNeil at ground level, keeps the footy moving forward. Under pressure, Miller gathers, breaks the tackle. Brilliant smother again. The 1%ers have really lifted here. McRae, who's now the leading ball winner on the ground for safety, still sheds up to 27. Doing a lot of hard work, smothers that one out of bounds, keeps the Gold Coast Suns pinned in their back half. Ball tossed in 50 out, members side of the ground. Witts tries to drop it down to Anderson. Bonampelli hunting the footy. Witts goes in again, gets it to Anderson, only sort of mungs the ball forward about 10 metres. Smith goes in around the body, top of the square. Calmers flies. Riley West at ground level. Had it, lost it, didn't know where it was. Hacked off the ground. Just get it out of here. Measures stuff by the Gold Coast Suns now. Richards. They've got the line built. There's a chance for the Suns here. Chol. Cleary goes in, did nicely. Full-bodied stuff from O'Brien. Roses, he's been quiet. Gets the handball out the back to Swallow. He gets it to Anderson. Quick kick wasn't effective. Rowell again wrapped up in possession. Rankin the toe poke. Everything's hard work for all of them at the moment. Miller goes in, hacks it up towards half forward. Ainsworth makes a contest of it. Big moment here for the Suns. Over the top goes Casbolt. Liberatore high tackle. It's going to be a free kick to Alex Keith at the end of all of the madness.
That was a crazy passage, wasn't it? There was players everywhere.
Keith to Liberatore. I think they'd all just like to take a breath in the aftermath of that sequence. Liberatore inside the defensive 50. Cleary led up for him. They are just a bit, they're visually tougher around the ball, the Dogs. Cleary goes long around the wing. Karmas with a run at it. Ended up working his way underneath. Ballard the spoil. Bontempelli tips it out in front of himself. Teammate got in the way. By the time he gathered, he had the company of Markov. Released the hand pass to Cleary. Flipped it up the side. Was high-risk stuff, and it hasn't worked. Weller's onto it. Trying to run away. He has. He worked the hand pass inboard. Rankin's turn comes. Hand passes it forward to the play, and Ainsworth again. He's kicked his third. So it's only the Smalls up front. But they do nip away. Down by 20 points, a couple in a row. 8-6-58. The Dogs 10-14-74 Victoria Police Assistance Line scoreboard.
Yeah, they have dialed up the pressure, both teams. Their tackle pressure's been excellent, and well done by Weller. Great initial tackle by Markov, but the Smalls, you're right, Jared. That time it was Rankin, Weller, and Ainsworth's been fantastic today. But their hunt and spread's been okay, the Gold Coast Suns. We just haven't seen it consistently enough today. They've just looked a little bit off the speed at different times. And yeah, Jeffrey and Ainsworth, they've been the two today for the Gold Coast Suns in that forward line.
3 to Ainsworth, 4 to Jeffrey. That's 7 of the Gold Coast Suns, 8. And the other one was kicked by Jai Farah, who's off the ground, who's been playing last line of defence prior to that. They've kicked the last 2. So the Dogs kicked the first 4. They got it out to 32. It's back to 20. So the last 3 or 4 minutes here are going to be pretty big in the context of this. Bonampelli can't take clean possession. Witts' chase was absolutely magnificent. He gets up just holding the back of his left hamstring, and Bonampelli, that's got syndesmosis all over it by the look of that reaction. Hopefully it's not. We'll keep an eye on all of that. They go down the line. Gardner can't mark. Bailey Smith wrapped up by Holman.
Good tackle.
The Suns are just tackling their way back in. Bonampelli in the hands of the trainers. He's definitely favouring that left leg. He seems to be shrugging them off, so hopefully that's a good sign. Swallow, brave again in the contest. Up towards Casbolt. Good contest. Holman to Rankin. He's got involved from 55. Top of the square. Jeffrey takes the mark. And they have dug deep and found something here, the Suns.
I love it. I love it, Andy. It's exactly what I wanted to see today. Challenged. be 30 points down, 36 points down, whatever it was, and just fight. And they've found a way. For some kids as well, It's excellent.
So Jeffrey from 20 out, he's 192 centimetres. He doesn't play 192, but around the body he goes. He's kicked his 5th. If you don't mind, it's been a couple of highlight reel goals in the middle of them. They've all been crucially important. And suddenly the Suns are back within 14 points. 10-14-74 the Dogs, 9-6-60 Gold Coast. Victoria Police Assistance Line scoreboard.
And you mentioned it as well. The player that got the clearance was David Swallow. He's been excellent as well. And Rankin's starting to just get his hands on the footy a bit too. We know how much class and decision-making is very good ahead of the footy. And, yeah, Jeffrey just outbodied Bailey Dale there just on a 1v1.
Rankin's importance when this side's going to be good.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremy Cameron's just kicked a goal from well outside 50 after the three-quarter time siren in Geelong. That was some sort of kick. 26-point leaders Geelong, 9-11 to 6-3 around the grounds for Kangan Institute. 1-3 TAFE. Dogs back to 14 points. 2 minutes and 9 seconds left in the third term. Every tick of that will be crucial. Poor bounce again.
Umpire number 30's having a tough time with that bounce. He's got it going that way twice now.
He's got the Amy clanging, I reckon, who covers clang as Amy does.
That'll do.
Witts taps it down. Swallow trying to work his way through the middle. There's some heavy contact in all of that as he was brought to ground. So Anderson claims the footy and dumps it deep. Casbolt, yes! I was just thinking, if this is going to happen, either Casbolt or Chol have got to start marking that ball.
Yep.
And on cue, Casbolt does.
Great call, Jared. And they've been...
This is amazing.
They've been dumping it there all day, and we haven't seen a consistent contest, and we know how good Casbolt is in the air. This game's come to life.
Sure
Fantastic. Really impressive by the Gold Coast Suns. They've dug in.
We spent so long at 8 points, and after this kick, we might be back there. Levi Casbolt, his moment arrives and he fluffs it.
Big fella.
He's pushed it out across the face of goal and left his team 13 points adrift. Brenton Sanderson for buymystock.com.au.
So Dale comes to the shaded side of the ground, commentary side of the ground. Dunkley up in front. He's had a good quarter. Takes the mark in front of Weller at half back. Looks to go down the line. That's the way he favours. Thought about the switch. Preferred otherwise. Norton and Collins has been with him every step of the way this quarter. Sam Collins been a bit harder for Norton this term.
Yeah, he's come up the ground a bit too, Norton, to try and have a bit more impact on the game. Just can't seem to find those one-on-ones that he had in the first quarter.
10-14, 9-7, dying stages, third quarter. Is there one more in this term? Smith gets the clearance, gives it to McRae. He's been terrific. Drives it up towards half-forward, pushed as he kicked it, and out of bounds it was affected. Good desperate stuff by the Gold Coast Suns, who really lifted. They kicked the first four of the turn, the Dogs, to get out to the 32-point lead, and then the character down two players. Let's not forget that Thompson and Farah gone for the game. Two defenders as Cleary stands up in a pack and takes a good mark for the Dogs.
So it's every shoulder to the wheel here, not to concede late. Flings it in the Norton direction, had a fly, couldn't mark. McComb in the tackle of Miller. He went round a couple of times, released it goal side. Charging out was Lemons, gathered the footy fearlessly, kicked it for territory out the far side. Daniel and Rosas set after it. Rosas gets there first. Daniel tackled him and beat him in the contest. Williams lent a hand to Richards, to Daniel, back over his shoulder. Bailey Williams, last play of the term, kicks it to full forward. Bontempelli couldn't mark. It's loose. It's through for a behind. The final score of the term off hands is a rushed behind for the Bulldogs, and they'll turn for home 14 points in front. 10-15-75 to Gold Coast, 9-7-61. Multiple goal kickers, Norton 3, McNeil 2. On the other side of the page, Jeffries kicked 5 and Ainsworth's booted at 3.
5.
Pretty wacky races here. AFL Nation for Tyre Power. Buy 3, get 1 free on selected Falcon tyres. And for McDonald's, $6 small McChicken meal and cheeseburger on the My Macca's app.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Victoria Police. Use the police assistance line for non-urgent situations.
If you're running your own business, you're an all-in-one kind of person. You're the CEO, the marketing director, and the bookkeeper. The buck stops with you. Makes sense then that you should use a payment solution that helps make getting paid easier. Easy Debit is the all-in-one payment solution. Whether it's direct debit for recurring or subscription payments, BPay for invoicing, FPOS, phone or online payments. When it comes to dollars, it just makes sense. Easy Debit. Payments done in one. Search EZI Debit today.
Get the power of safer tyres before you go on holidays. A road safety message from Tyre Power.
There's one wheel that affects the performance of all the other wheels on your car, the steering wheel. And if your steering is out of alignment, it affects handling and vehicle stability. Poor steering alignment also causes rapid and uneven tyre wear. If you feel your vehicle pulling in one direction on a straight road, head to your nearest Tyre Power store and get your alignment checked and adjusted as soon as possible.
Get the power! From first-time browsing to big-time arousing, Sexyland is all about fun. We have Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, couples' toys, fun gifts and games for adults. And our team of fun specialists are always here to help in-store and online. Sexyland 11 stores open 7 days until midnight in Melbourne and Geelong, or shop online and get 2-hour delivery. Take me now, I'm coming. Take me now, Sexyland.
At Harvey Norman, get 60 months interest-free, no deposit finance from Latitude and receive a bonus gift card up to $1,000. Shop furniture, bedding, computers and technology, TVs and entertainment, flooring and more. That's 60 months interest-free, no deposit, no interest from Latitude with 60 approximately equal monthly payments and receive a bonus gift card up to $1,000. Finance only available if you have or are approved for a participating Latitude credit card. Minimum finance amount $1,000. See T's and C's. Interest applies for non-compliance. Fees and product exclusions apply. Now at Harvey Norman.
There's claims out there about every golf ball on the shelf. So we won't claim that TaylorMade's TP5 is the #1 golf ball, because the TP5 beats it. Used by leading players like Rory McIlroy, Dustin Johnson and more, the TP5 features 5-layer technology for better distance, feel and spin. Don't use the #1 golf ball. Tee off with the ball that beats it. Find the TaylorMade TP5 golf ball at your local pro shop.
James Squire was many things. Londoner, highway robber, risk taker, rogue, lover, fighter, fugitive, convict, brewer, legend. He was many things, but he was never ordinary. James Squire, ordinary be damned.
Are you the fan that wishes footy was like it was in the old days? All the new rule interpretations get in the way of the stuff you love. The footy. You are the traditional fan. And when you're at Schnitz, you're ordering the classic schnitzel recipe like original schnitzel and chips. A pan-cooked golden schnitzel with those seasoned crispy chips you can only find at Schnitz. You've got that winning taste now, right? Schnitz. Handcrafted schnitzels, made fresh, made just for you. Schnitz it your way this season.
Werribee Isuzu Ute make buying cars easy. For great deals on D-Max Utes or MUX SUVs, see Werribee Isuzu Ute and upgrade your old car today. They pay top dollar for trade-ins, any make or model. Plus, they've got 100 plus pre-owned utes, vans, four-wheel drives and more in stock and ready to go, with great finance packages for ABN holders and private buyers. Werribee Isuzu Ute, Old Geelong Road, Hoppers Crossing or werribeeisuzuute.com.au. LMCT 114.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now. Maccas, I'm loving it moments. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today.
Asks the jumpers to jump. Dunkley takes the mark from the side of the pack. Around the body he goes and he coaxes it through.
To McRae, dodges back inside the 50 and Treloar with the flight takes the mark. Adam Treloar wheels out, let's fly. Now it's through. It's a big celebration for a goal in his milestone game.
Finds his way to Bonampelli on the right foot. Top of the square, ball bouncing. Oh, it's gone through. Top of the square, Jeffrey takes the mark. Around the body he goes. He's kicked his fifth, if you don't mind.
I'm loving it. Moments for Macca's. $6 small McChicken meal and cheeseburger on the My Macca's app. Dogs by 14.
Opening bounce, final quarter for Tyre Power. Buy 3, get 1 free on selected Falcon tyres.
What's it to be? Have the Suns got another effort in them? Witts wins the tap out the side. Running onto the footy is Swallow. They'll get the first entry. He plays at 40 out, but Caleb Daniel back into the pack to take the mark. Releases the hand pass to Richards. Down the wing, his initial target was Liberatore. It got past him. Powell comes through for the Suns, kept the hands free. Off to Markov, then to Weller in the tackle. Released it backwards to Markov. They're giving ground here, the Suns, and they've lost the footy. Williams to Liberatore. Dogs come forward now. Spoiling is Collins. Norton was there in the van initially, gathering Butterick. He's right against the boundary. He's pushed over and he's kicked it out on the full. So he gives the ball back to the Dogs a few steps beyond the 50, and it's Bailey Williams who's been a constant thorn up front. He'll give himself as much momentum as he can and launch it toward the goal front. He's given it a ride. He's pushed it in his endeavours to get the yardage and across the face through for a behind. A 15-point margin on the Icon Services scoreboard. Solutions that matter.
He's been a factor, Bailey Williams. He could have been a telling one had he been able to kick straight. Powell with the kicking duties. 15 points the margin. Icon Services scoreboard. Feigns to go one way, comes back to the near side, and Jeffrey up at halfback takes the mark. Pokes it wide to Butterick. He goes longer. Over centre wing, looking for Witts, who's got Sweet with him off hands near the interchange gates. Snaffle bite-sized payments, a win. We'll have a boundary throw in early stages. Final quarter. AFL Nation for Tyre Power and McDonald's. All thrown in. Witts to Swallow. Been terrific, David Swallow. Up towards the forward pocket. Keith with the spoil in front of Chol. Copson, errant Chol knee as he goes over the top. Chol apologises. 25 out from the Gold Coast goal. Have a throw in. First goal here, critical you'd suspect. Ball pitches. McRae slaps it. Rankin gets rid of Liberatore, gathers the footy, ducks back into traffic, gets it to Swallow, kicks smothered, 48 out from the Gold Coast goal, goes in again, Swallow, gets it to Miller, dispossessed, McRae goes one way then the other, in fact it's Dale, goes one way then the other, kicks it, it's out of bounds on the full.
Yep.
It has not pitched on the line and it'll be coming back, Sando.
Yeah, they need to change the angles here, the Suns. Three-quarter time siren came at the wrong time, they had all the momentum.
Yeah. Ballard hoiks it back inside the 50. Chol had a leap at the pack, but falling back into it is O'Brien. He controlled the airwaves and takes the intercept mark.
He's been good today too. Hasn't had a lot of the footy, but he's kept Chol and Casbolt out of the contest.
Gets under his kick on the way out, so it's right back down the wing. Ballard made the spoil on Cordy. And out of bounds at the interchange gate.
You feel like he's got an important role to play in the balance of that Western Bulldogs back half?
That's right, yeah, he certainly has. And it just allows some of those Western Bulldogs medium-sized players to play that third up jumper.
Boundary throw in. Centre wing, broadcast side. Sweet went with the foot to try to trap it. It landed with Swallow. He lost to Scott. McRae and Treloar combine at the source, and he kicks the Dogs to half forward. Norton arrives to make the spoil. Cutting through as Dunkley. Hand pass to McComb. Stripped to the footy by Powell. It's loose. Dunkley on the follow-up. Gave it to McNeil. Open goal beckons. He fluffed it. He kicked right off the outside of the boot, and he missed entirely out on the full.
God, how good was Dunkley there? Dunkley was fantastic. Couple of follow-up efforts and ground balls and first give handballs. Fantastic.
Here's an Amy Klinger for you. Jared, who covers Klinger's aim. He does it. Full goal face, no one in front of him. Ball at ground level, 2B1. Richards has been terrific today on the left. Pokes it back inside forward 50, but only as far as Will Powell.
Now, I want him to go here, Andy. They've been going sideways and slow from these moments all game. I need him to go fast here.
Powell comes back to the outer side of the ground.
Nope.
To Weller. Nope.
Slow and wide.
Yep. He runs and then drives it long. Big pack of players. Hits Gardner on the head. Ground level Richards again. Gets it to O'Brien. Finds a way around the body out of traffic. Ball to ground level, brought down by Markov. Liberatore finds a way through the traffic. Good clean hands. Gets it to Norton, 52 out one way, then the other. Now decides to pin the ears back right to the goal line. Bonampelli's down there in a body contest with Lemons. Appeals for the free kick, not forthcoming. Ball goes out of bounds. Certainly a big grab of the jumper. The replay for easy debit shows that. The umpire was 4 feet away from that.
That's the boundary umpire.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Keep going, Jared.
Deep forward for the Dogs. Tossed in. Witt stood his ground. Onto it, though, is Treloar. Hand passed up in the air, maybe a bit too fierce for the intended. Bailey Williams is trapped over the footy. Ball it up. 15 points. It's tense for the Suns. They can't concede the first goal. Witt tapped it to himself. Got it onto his boot. Took 20 metres, but it landed with Bailey Dale. So no easing the pressure just yet. Dale is going to give them a chance. The high flyers. He's dragged it into the pocket. Out came Bontempelli. First reaction was he wasn't going to, but he did. It's his second tremendous mark of the afternoon.
It's a great grab.
Got it at the high point of the jump and then caught it on the way down on the second grab. Marcus Bontempelli twirls the footy, opens the angle and snaps it through for a goal. His second and a decisive blow. And he is in the conversation as the player of the day. Henley Holmes build with confidence. 11-16-82 to the Gold Coast 9-7-61. Brenton Sanderson for buymystock.com.au.
Yeah, it's a cliche, Jared, but it's a captain's goal. They really needed someone else besides Norton to stand up in that forward line, and gee, it was a great mark. He looked like he was going to drop it, but then he somehow had the reach to be able to just pick it up on the second bite, and fantastic. And a good finish too. He's had 4 shots for goal. I like it when he pushes forward, Bontempelli. He's such a difficult aerial matchup. We know how powerful and how strong he is, not only at ground level but also in the air, and it's been a nice little foil today in that forward line setup, and just keeps him out of the bash and crash because they've got so much depth in that midfield. Well done.
Brenton Sanderson for buymystock.com.au. The Suns have kept coming. Have they got one more rear guard action in them? 21 points the margin. They were down by 32 at the 18-minute mark of the third quarter. Can they come again? Down 2 players if you just joined us. Farrer and Thompson off the ground. Weller from the stoppage up towards Casbolt. Can't mark. Ground level. Where are the Crummers? It's only the Dogs. Cleary was good. Got it to Keith. Off to Dale. Short ball. Nice. Composed stuff to Bailey Smith at halfback out of side of the ground. AFL Nation for Ty Power and McDonald. Smith drives it up towards centre wing position. Big pack, can't mark. It was Lemons in the middle of it all. Swallowed, dispossessed. Goes in and fights hard for it again. West over the top of the footy. Extricates, grabbed by one arm, dropped the footy, holding the ball well. Did very, very well. West tried hard, but no option when you're in that position. Had to make contact with the footy, didn't. Free kick, Suns. Weller drives it up towards the pocket, out of sight of the ground, but it's all O'Brien. They didn't have a jumper in the end, the Gold Coast Suns, and Tim O'Brien does what Luke Beveridge and the coaching staff would like him to do.
He will kick long down the outer wing. Norton's up into the pack, but he's beaten that time by Collins. Camped himself in front. Strong body.
He's fought back well, Collins.
Yes. In the first quarter and a half, it was Norton for anything today. It's a wobbler of a kick. It might work. It finds Swatachol, who gives the big don't argue, bounces it up over the top of Keith in the square and through for... We've seen goals kicked over the head, over the shoulder. That one's out of the backside.
It's unbelievable goal.
Got the big skip in the square. 10-7-67 to the Dogs, 11-16-82.
Sando, talk us through the don't argue. He actually ran it, Gardner.
He was actually free.
He
was actually had time and space to have the shot.
He was.
And he ran towards a Western Bulldogs player, Gardner, to shove him. It was like almost frustration, like he wanted to hit someone when he had the footy. But the ball on the second bounce has bounced about 15 metres in the air over the Western Bulldogs' defence and rolled through for a goal.
It's a great replay
passage
for Easy Debit, doing Easy Debit today.
About the most flamboyant, don't argue, you'll ever see. And we've seen a few in the last 10 years, but that was quite something. Okay, so we're back in the middle. They answer the goal. Miller gets the footy. Gets him going forward again to centre-half foot. Ball hits the deck. Rosas has been quiet. He's got some tricks. He finds Rankin at 47 out directly in front. Speaking of tricks. So, we thought the Bonapelli goal, well, I certainly did, might have been a bit of a settler. They've come straight back. Joel kicks an extraordinary goal. Rankin, more traditional set shot. He'll kick from about 50 out, directly in front. In he comes. Hits it pretty well as he tugged it to the left, searching for that extra yardage. Indeed, he has 10-8, 68, 11-16, 82. Icon Services scoreboard, solutions that matter at Icon Services.
Around the grounds is Geelong by 21 points halfway through the final term. Bailey-Dale on the way out finds Cleary at defensive 50. He'll use the short pass as the Dogs try to combine. Bailey Smith had a bit of a devil of a time gathering it. Gave it back to O'Brien once it came. Bounces it up the wing. Norton released it to Karmas. Tried to get it onto Scott.
Threw it.
Right. So it's the Suns ball to Lemons. Paid against Karmas. Kick comes in boards to Markov. The locals are a bit disgruntled.
Fan descent.
Oleg Markov takes off. He kicks it out wide. Bailey Williams tracked the path of it well. He got in front of Witts and takes the intercept mark. He gives some ground to Daniel. So the Dogs again at their defensive 50, protecting a 14-point lead. Sags the kick back to Williams. He's been encouraged to send it forward by all and sundry. From half back to half forward, hard against the boundary, but Ballard saw that coming and pinches it right back.
He does a lot right, Charlie Ballard. That kick's not one of them. It's over the head of Anderson. Dale runs onto it. Top of the square. Brilliant,
well done,
Collins. Tell us what he did, Sando.
Back with the fly to the footy. Norton had the little sit on him too, but he just read it a bit earlier and well played. He's had a great second half, Collins.
So back to Ballard. This time he measures the kick more accurately to Jeffrey, who's pushed up to half-back again this quarter. He's kicked 5, Joel Jeffrey, in case you just joined us. He now kicks it high up towards the wing position, member side of the ground. Witts comes out, takes a terrific mark in front of O'Brien. Wheels onto his left, drives it up towards half-forward, lets the big boys come at it. At ground level, Holman, Rosas, over the top of the footy. This could be holding the ball against the Dogs here. It was at the bottom of the pack, Gardner, and the umpire cut him a bit of slack then. He definitely dragged it under. Ball thrown up, 50 out, Witts. Liberatore works hard at ground level. Brilliant handball to Dunkley. Around the body, wing position. On his own, somehow, he's Bonapelli. Opponent accountability was lax there from the Gold Coast Suns to Dunkley. Over the top, the kick was poor, set up for Powell, who came in and with a big spoil knocks it out of bounds over the top of Riley West. It sat on West's head and asked for the treatment, and Powell gave it to him. 11-16, 82, 10-8, 68 Icon Services scoreboard. 13.5 gone final quarter.
Boundary throw in. Right half forward for the Dogs. Witts taps. Cordy has a go at it as well. Dunkley worked off it by Swallow. Put his head over the ball. Wore the contact from Bailey Smith. Ball it up. Good honest contest. Tossed up. Underneath, Macomb wins the clearance. Out to Liberatore, then to McRae. Up to full forward. Norton can't get a run at the pack. Collins made the spoil. Powell does the tidying up from the goal square. Clears for the Suns right into the centre square. This is an important ball. Up to it comes Holman. He wore the contacts. He held it up against Richards and earns a ball up. Ruckman ready themselves. Cordy planted himself. Witts, beautiful tap out the side to Ellis. Around the body up to half forward, leading up Casbolt. He should wheel and go and give them a chance deep. He puts it in the Chol direction. Got shoved right in the back. No whistle on the play. Cleary's in and after it. Rosas disputes it with them. Keith put it back in underneath. I'd pay holding the ball against the Dogs here. Between them, they dragged that in and wore 3 tackles.
I'd like to see that Chol replay.
He went to ground.
He did, yeah, mate. Was there much in it?
Yeah, it might have got a push.
So right forward pocket for the Suns. That's where it will be balled up. What can they create? Witts initially cleared the area. It landed with Markov back to the teeth of goal. Casbolt can't mark. Ainsworth fights the good fight underneath with Dunkley. It'll be balled up, 20 out from goal.
It's a big moment, you think, of the game right here. They need to draw themselves a bit closer to the Suns. They're in scoring position. Hands on it from the stoppage. A heap of Dogs jump on the top of that Sun. It was Swallow again who got first hands on. And we'll have another ball up. 20 out, directly in front. 14 points to the margin. Chol jumps early, ground level, bodies flying everywhere, hacked out of there, and it finds its way to Scott, who marks a true centre-half back. Plays on straight away. Norton a long way from home, takes the mark. Still defensive side of the centre of Mars Stadium.
Yeah, you can't go fast here, Andy, because they have to reset their forward line.
So back and short he goes to Cleary, called to play on. He's composed today, Dale. Down the line he goes. Lovely kick. Scott worked hard for him. And he takes the mark just in front of the boundary line near the interchange gates. Called to play on now. On his left, up towards half forward. Bonampelli works Ballard out of the contest. Fairly, says the umpire. There was certainly a good bit of body contact between the two of them. Called to play on now. Bonampelli sweeps it from 50. Kicks his third. And that is a vital blow for the Western Bulldogs. (12-16) 88 the Dogs, 10-8, 68 the Gold Coast Suns, 20 points the margin.
Yeah, great work by Bonampelli there. He just wrestled Ballard out of that aerial contest, 1v1, and then just rolled on his left, probably outside of his range if he went back and had the normal set shot, but took the opportunity with the stand rule just to wheel and go, and 2 very important fourth quarter goals from Marcus Bonampelli. 3 goals too today with his 20 disposals for safety still sheds. He is some player, isn't he?
He's kicked their last 3 goals, yep. Bonampelli.
Fantastic. What a player.
20 points is a good cushion. Free kick in the centre. It's going to go the way of Witts, and Miller hairs off as he claims the advantage. He's going to put it to the top of the square. Good hand in there from Cleary, although it fell for Rankin. Sells one way, then the other. Gave it to Ellis and got it back. Forced his way clear. Rankin with the snap. Comes up with a goal. It needed a bit of intervention. And Isaac Rankin with a wonderful display of skill cancels the goal out and puts the game back in the balance.
Yeah, good call, Sheridan. Every time that the Western Bulldogs just feel like they might have the advantage, the Gold Coast Suns win the next centre bounce and seem to be able to score. And Rankin, he's had a really good second half, actually. He was quiet in the first half, Isaac Rankin. They were relying so much on Jeffrey and Ainsworth, but yeah, he's just able to find some time and space. Another little don't argue, and he's all class, this young man. Fantastic footballer. And
it's a good handball from Brandon Ellis here, Sando. Yeah. Have a look at this. Right there on the easy debit replay. It's a host plus goal of the game. It was magnificent from Rankin.
14 points. Still with plenty of time too for the Gold Coast Suns.
And forward they go from the centre bounce. Richards flies. That's a terrific mark. Jared's mentioned a couple of times in the call he's been good aerially today, and that's as good as anything he's done, and timely. He goes short just over the outstretched hands of Chol. It finds Keith. Takes some time. Plays on now. Kicks it up towards the wing position. No mark taken. West at ground level gets it to Smith. Sweeping handball over the top to Bonampelli, stops and props and finds a bit of space in towards half forward. He wanted Norton to come at him, but Collins was the one who read it better off Bonampelli's boot. Plays on straight away to Ballard. He needs to keep going, you think. 19 minute, approaching the 20-minute mark of this last quarter. They get it to Weller, outer side of the ground. Handballs to Buttery, back to Weller. Terrible handball. Weller had to feel for it. They needed it to be clean. Miller goes in and gets it. Can he find someone down the line? Yes, he can. Witts, got to be good. Rowell gets it to him on the left foot up towards half forward. Joel comes at it and takes a terrific mark. He's made a habit of kicking big goals late in games in recent weeks, Marby or Chol, and he's got a moment presenting itself to him right now.
What a fantastic grab, and finally they get some access to the corridor and get the ball in quickly, where rather than get the pack mark, you get a mobile forward able to run and jump at it.
So he's kicked one this quarter. He'll kick from about 40 out. It's a big, big kick. It's a good-looking kick off the boot. It's across the face. He can't believe he's missed that. He says, how did it miss? Well, it missed. 11-9, 75-12, 16-88.
Dale decisively into play, and Scott stood his ground in front, took a tough mark. Got to be tough late in a game like this. Dogs by 13. Scott from half back to half forward, hugging the boundary, and happy to see it there. Cordy in the contest against Lemons.
Just watching the easy debit replay. That Joel was saluting that home. He was double fisting it off the kick.
Dangerfield subbed out of the game at Kennedy Park in the last quarter. The Cats by 33 points. Boundary throw in on the wing. Dogs by 13. Sweet wins the tap. Rankin up at the stoppage. They took it cleanly. Got it away to Markov. Up to Holman. Hit hard by Cleary. Great tackle to stop the progress as the Suns threatened to come through the middle.
What about that Rankin toe poke when he was... That was
class. Tossed up, Witts out the side, found some space for Ellis or Miller. They weren't sure which one should go to the footy, and they got beaten to it. Bailey Smith to Treloar and out to McComb, forward of the play. Strong work, Ballard. Put the shoulder in, cleared the way, did lose the footy. Kept the momentum going just enough to Ellis, though. Flings it up to half forward. Richards again, that's half a dozen, I reckon. He has been worth his weight today. Out across half back to the run of Gardner. Delivers the Dogs to half forward. It's short of Dunkley. He lopes onto it, gives some ground to West, measures off the kick. Mark taken by McRae. Shields his eyes from the sun. His very best would put this right to the line. And he would do well to soak up the seconds regardless, I think, inside the final 5 minutes of the game. Jack McRae, prolific as ever. This will be disposal number 33. From near the juncture of 50 and the boundary. He'll set it up to the hot spot. He has given it up to Swallow, so it amounted to nothing.
A bit limp in the end. Swallow goes quickly to Rankin, gives it to Ellis, who cruises by, goes into the corridor. He was looking for Jeffrey, who fell over. Dale gets the crumb to Bonampelli. Crucial turnover. Top of the square. Collins camped under it. Got name all over it. Out the back to Lemons. Free kick against Dunkley. Play on advantage. Gold Coast Suns come out the other way now to Markov, who marks and didn't have anything. So he slows it down. And he's getting a bit jittery now, and he kicks it out of bounds on the full. In fact, it somehow found a way of coming back into play. Gets it to his former Richmond teammate Chol. Back to Chol. Gives it now to Weller, cruising by. That was another bizarre moment in this game. It was out of bounds on the full for all money. Rosas at half forward. Top of the square. Ellis out the back. Takes the mark directly in front, 20 out.
This is so much better by the Gold Coast Suns. I know they had a lucky break then on the wing, but how much better are they when they go fast and take the game on and attack through the corridor?
24 minutes gone, Makita clock. He simply has to kick the goal. And he's short. He's a veteran professional. He's 20 out directly in front. In he comes. And he does. So the Suns stay alive. 12-16, 88. 12-9, 81. It's a 7-point margin. Dying stages. Final quarter, all of it on the Icon Services scoreboard.
I'm loving the grit today from the Gold Coast Suns. So many times today you just thought they were done, but well played. Just lower eyes inside forward 50, take the advantage. Ellis working really hard down the open side as the fat side winger and takes a mark 20 metres out straight in front. They've worked hard, the Gold Coast Suns. They've never looked defeated. They kept coming. This is a big centre bounce, 7 points down.
Gee, they've been brave. So remember, Thompson and Farah out at half-time. They were down 2 at half-time. 2 key defenders.
Final score in Geelong. The Cats 11-16-82 defeat Port Adelaide 7-5-47. Game in the balance and Ballarat. Witts wins the tap. Out the back, taken by Anderson. Flung it off to Powell, who didn't gather. Sweep the other way to Liberatore. So it's the Dogs who come forward. Norton's the target. Collins is with him. Collins made the spoil. Underfoot. Treloar's got it. It didn't mean the world to him. He can't land the blow. Hooked it out across the face and I don't think it's scored.
No, I don't think it has.
I reckon it's out on the full, so it stays 7 points.
Lemons drives it out of defence. Chol working hard. Richards again. He's been magnificent. And takes another really telling mark. He'll turn the Suns around. He'll drive it to the top of the square. It's a low, piercing kick. Witts goes back. Norton flies. Swallow's been magnificent. Can't get the footy out. It finds its way out to McComb. Could have been a high tackle to Lemons. Norton goes in. Farms it out to Williams. On the left boot. Snaps it, and that'll be it. Williams has been terrific. Kicks his second, and surely that one puts the Suns away. 13-16-94 the Western Bulldogs, 12-9-81 the Gold Coast Suns. Williams has got 2. All the numbers on the Icon Services scoreboard.
Oh, you talked about Richards. He's taken 10 marks today for safety still sheds. Most of them have been intercept possessions as well, but just the hunt and the fight and the gather by Norton, they're fantastic. And Williams just sat outside the contest while everyone else was hunting inside and on the left foot, banged it through, and this has been a great game. I've really enjoyed this today. It's been fantastic to see 2 sides. I've been really impressed by both, to be honest. The Western Bulldogs are getting back to their best. They've had some really great moments today. Their contest work and clearance work, it's been excellent. Had a lot of good players, but the Suns have just kept coming.
13-point margin, 2 minutes to play. Knocked out the side. Bontempelli loped onto the footy. Kicks the Dogs inside 50. No mark taken. McNeil then laid the tackle, having been denied in the air. He fights against Markov. It'll be balled up. So Richards, Williams and Bontempelli have been pivotal figures all day. And they have played quite the hand in this final term. Weller spiked it away after the initial ruck contest and then charged onto the footy. Lagged the hand pass to Swallow, full throttle. Kick inside the 50. Charging down as Rosas. He's got the pace. He's got the footy. He's got the goal.
This is extraordinary.
Back to 7 points. 95 seconds to go. AFL Nation for Tyre Power and McDonald's, 13-16 to 13-9. That was a running race.
Oh, what about the speed from Rosas too? And I've said it a couple of times in this last quarter. I love it when the Suns play like this. That was his stoppage goal from half back. Only 2 or 3 disposals in that chain. But put the ball out into space, take some risks, watch him run, and Rosas has had a dark, dirty day, but geez, he had a good moment then. What about the speed? Loved it. Fantastic play.
He's got some tricks. I wonder if he's going to get enough of the footy to be persisted with on a week-to-week basis. He's exciting.
Big centre bounce.
94-87. Witts gets it to Anderson. Hacks it forward. Big pack. Up in front. Rankin at ground level. Miller's in there. Got to get it out of here. Holding the ball. No, the umpire says I'll ball it up at centre half forward for the Gold Coast Suns.
I think back come the numbers now for the Bulldogs. They're flooding numbers behind the ball.
Witts flicks it out. Miller gets the crumb. Mark to be taken. Up in front, Casbolt. Flipped out to Ainsworth. He's been terrific and he kicks it out on the full. He's had a day. He's kicked 3. That was the biggest moment of them all. And unfortunately, it was too big for him. And out of bounds on the full, it went Bailey Dar with a free kick.
His heart skipped a beat like all of ours did at the moment. Did swallow him up. Bailey Dale kicks for territory. There's a free kick up where they were going to form, and it's a Dogs free kick to Bontempelli. To Sweet. So Sweet's ball. He has a little look to the bench. They say a minute to go. 7-point leaders. Sweet takes the territory as far as he can and as wide as is allowed. Off hands, over and out as Swallow wholehearted, and Bontempelli with utter dedication will require a bit of help.
Sorry, Jerry. He's been magnificent, David Swallow. He might have hurt himself here in that marking contest too. He's
25 disposals, 7 clearances.
It's been sensational.
Safety still sheds.
He's given every last drop. Right half forward, the Dogs. At the throw-in, it got past the ruckman. Bontempelli on the spot again. Hand pass to Bailey Smith. 55 from goal. Norton's the target. Collins kept him away. Ball is loose. McComb! His second seals the game. Towed it through on the goal line. And it'll be a 13-point margin potentially at the end, which is about what it's been. It's been 13 and 14 points all afternoon. The Dogs cracked the ton, 14-16 to 13-9. Icon Services scoreboard, solutions that matter.
What a game. Fantastic finish to this game.
Great game.
Been so impressed with both teams, just their ability to be able to fight. And as we said, both teams were going into this game 4 wins and 5 losses. It was huge to go either 5-5 or 4-6. There's a big difference, and the Dogs have just hung in there. Fantastic, well played.
There's not much between them, and the Suns will feel like they've given their absolute all. They might feel a bit aggrieved. Stewie Jewell, ponder the injuries to the 2 defenders. The Dogs will think they probably could have put him away a bit earlier had they kicked straighter. McRae from the restart to Dale to Treloar. These familiar names as they sweep the footy forward. McComb's a freshie. He's kicked 2, gets it back to Dale. Kick batted down. Treloar in game 200. Going to be a winner for him. Dale handballs it out the back. Had to be good keep was. McComb goes in back to Dale, sharing the footy under pressure. And he finds Bailey Smith, who's been irrepressible yet again. Swings around, final kick of the game, drives it right to the line. What a way to finish. A supreme finish from Bailey Dale. And they were made to earn it. They were pushed right to the final siren, the Western Bulldogs. But they prevail here in Ballarat. And they win by 19 points, 15-16, 106. They defeat the Gold Coast Suns, 13-9, 87.
The Bulldogs led all day by 8 points at quarter time, 7 at the half, 14 at the final change, and 19 at the close. 15-16, 106. The Bulldogs over Gold Coast, 13-9, 87. I would say that's the best AFL game that's been played in Ballarat.
Yep.
It was a beauty. The post-game show is about a 2-minute show, Sando. All you need is the votes. You work those out.
Yep.
I'll guide you through the rest. Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops. Answer the Camel's call. Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops. That final score for Victoria Police. Need the police but not the sirens? Call the police assistance line 131 444. 19 points. So 5-5 the Dogs. They square the ledger. The Suns 4-6. They lose. No admirers. What are you going to do with the votes for the AFL Nation Player of the Year? Thanks to Henley Homes. Stage 4 Henley and House and Land packages now selling at Dales, Bonnybrook, henley.com.au.
Really tough today, Jared. I've left a lot of good players out of these. I gave 1 vote to Joel Jeffrey from the Gold Coast Suns for his 5 goals. He was fantastic. A lot of small forwards today for the Gold Coast Suns was excellent. I thought throw a blanket over the rest, but gee, Jack McRae again, 34 disposals, 10 clearances, and a high stoppage game. He was excellent. But I thought the most influential player on the game when it really mattered was the Western Bulldogs skipper, Marcus Bontempelli. 24 disposals, 3 last quarter goals, 6 clearances. He played a true captain's game today for the Western Bulldogs and was influential in them getting the win and sending them to 5-5.
3 to Bontempelli, 2 to McRae, 1 to Jeffrey. It's a big result on the ladder for 40 Wings. Prioritise your sleep with 40 Wings. Serious about sleep. The Dogs by 19 over the Suns.